Hello, everybody, and welcome back to your favorite film podcast, The Average Film Enjoyer. We apologize that we did not come out with an episode the last week. It was just, I was taking a week off, and then Jagger and Evan we really just didn't have the time last week. So we are here with Evan is moving. We are here with a big old whammy episode today.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah. We will be talking about last week's IMDb movies and today's IMDb movies. And it's the start of our next director deep dive. Yes. And surprise, it's John Carpenter. No matter, now we suffered through Bellatar, now Jagger gets to suffer through John Carpenter, even though he's only watched one so far, and that was a rewatch.
Yeah, it's crazy. Jagger, you missed out so hard.
I know.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about Carpenter's first 4 movies in his filmography. Should be a good time. But before we get anything, please give us a like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Any interaction we appreciate. Let's see.
How you doing, Trey?
I'm trying to get through announcements, Evan. It's too early for this.
I'm sorry.
God, I appreciate you asking me how I am. But come on! Check out all of our merch at afepod.com. Get yourself your own Average Film Enjoyer windbreaker, and to go along with that, get yourself a pickleball set. It's getting into fall. It's going to start getting cold. It's going to start getting rainy. At where Evan is, it's already cold.
Holy dude, it poured rain all day today.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
No, it has rained 3 times over the entire summer.
That's actually sick.
So we need more rain. We need rain.
And, get yourself some AFE merch. Get yourself a Scream hoodie. We got spooky season coming up.
Yeah, Hooptober's
we got, oh man, me and Evan got to start working on our schedule. Oh man, Jagger, we're going to make you watch some Peak.
I've never done Hooptober. You guys don't have to if you don't want to. I will be doing it.
No, we're dropping an episode every day. We're going to do it, but we are going to plan it better. Because last year,
categories this year is
that was a nightmare.
Dude, one of the October categories this year is an Indian horror movie, and I do not know many of those, so we gotta hit up Jonathan.
Oh shit! Because we should do it because last year Jagger just made a schedule of a bunch of horror movies.
And then ended it with a Toe Pooper movie. I didn't play by the rules.
We're playing by the rules, dude.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I have the rules here. Let me read them to you if you want, really quick. I'll be really quick, I promise.
Last year was a nightmare. About a week and a half in, me and Jagger wanted to kill ourselves. And that's when I started editing episodes because Jagger was he was doing school, editing, making the merch for every episode. What he was doing, dude, I was like, dude, you gotta let me help you out. Teach me how to edit.
Well, it paid off, right? We didn't even do the final episode of it. We wasted a bunch of people's time. Yeah.
We really did. We need to have your dad on again.
Oh my god. Yeah, he'll do it. All
right. I'm going to run through this really quick. Here's the Hooptober category. 31 films, 6 countries, 8 decades, 2 insect-centered films, 1 horror film set in space or the future, 2 animated films, 1 bloodthirsty old person film, 2 1970s regional U.S. films, the worst horror sequel from the 1990s that you haven't seen and you can find, 1 German silent film, 5 films from David Cronenberg, Ty West, Bill Rebane, Charles B. Pierce, Willem Greff, and or Joy N. Hoke, something like that. 2 Christopher Lee films, 1 film with a musician or band in it. We're watching Labyrinth. I want to see
Studio 666.
Ooh, yes.
Oh!
I want to see that. Yeah. And then one Stephen King adaptation that is not the first go around. One Lon Chaney film and one Tobe Hooper film.
So we're doing Aliens, Taking of Deborah Logan, and Studio 666.
Oh, Taking of Deborah Logan's that's a good movie.
That
so,
is,
yeah, we'll
dude.
build a
And
list
for the one based in the future, we can do Jason X.
Yes.
Oh god.
Fuck yeah, dude. Jason X rips.
Dude,
So, yeah,
bionic Jason Voorhees.
I'm very, very excited for Tobe Hooper. Jesus.
God, Jagger, you're gonna join in the glazing of utter shit that me and Evan do.
Dude. I'm sorry.
Dude.
So
Jason X is so peak.
Dude, it's got one of my favorite kills ever.
Oh, where he freezes her head and
yeah.
then he smashes her head. Oh my god.
It's the best scene in the movie, and it's one of the first scenes in the movie, too. It's like 20 minutes in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, we get your average film enjoyer spooky season merch, because we do got that coming up. We got some funny games merch. We've got Scream merch. We've got Reanimator merch. All made by our own Jagger Nelson.
Dude, we have to have
So,
cast.
The big
I don't
question
know
is, which Tobe Hooper movie do we use?
Poltergeist. We did Texas Chainsaw Massacre last year. Poltergeist.
Fuck yeah. Poltergeist.
It's the perfect... Dude, it's... Tobe Hooper directing and Steven Spielberg writing shouldn't work,
Jagger,
but it
have you
totally
seen it, Jagger?
does.
Have I seen Poltergeist?
Yeah.
Years, like probably about 5-6 years ago.
Dude,
and
it's
I
a
hated it.
masterpiece. It's so good.
It's so damn good. 5
I
stars.
love Poltergeist.
Mr. Incredible is in it too.
Yes. Craig T. Nelson. Goat.
Yep.
Goat shit.
So yeah. As far as episodes coming up next week, we got next week. Here we go. Chinatown, and what's this one after Chinatown? I can't tell. I'm really close to my camera right now. I know.
Ben recommended me Chinatown.
It's peak. Jagger, can you tell what this one after Chinatown is?
Here.
Because you took pictures of your list.
It's the Elephant Man.
Oh shit. Okay, let's just get
David
to press next week.
Yeah, David Lynch gonna be big glaze fest.
So we got Chinatown and the Elephant Man, and then for our Carpenter deep dive next week, we have, let me see here, we have his biopic of Elvis.
Yes. Gonna be peak.
Which I'm hyped for.
Oh,
Even though it's almost 3 hours.
Is it really? God damn.
Yeah. And then The Fog,
Yes.
which I've heard good things about.
I'm excited for the Fog. Hell yeah.
And then the week after that, we have...
Dude, we have a crazy IMDb double feature.
The week after that?
Yeah, it's Rashomon and Finding Nemo.
God, that goes so hard.
We're gonna talk about
So we got
talk about better movie.
Rashomon and Finding Nemo, and then we are gonna do Escape from New York, and even though it's later on in his filmography, we're gonna double that with Escape from LA. I feel like we have to. And
have you guys seen LA?
Yeah.
It's so bad.
No, it's fucking peak. Jagger, shout out Metal Gear Solid 2, Iroquois Pliskin, Solid Snake in Disguise, Hideo Kojima, the GOAT.
Yeah, and Jagger, we suffered through Bellatar.
We did something for Bellatar, and Escape from New York was in my top 4 forever.
Dude, Jagger, you're gonna like Someone's Watching Me. You're gonna like it.
It's peak.
Okay.
It's like Rear Window in reverse. It's really cool.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what we got coming up. So check those out. But before we are going to be skipping movie news today. We just got a lot to get through and a little time. So but before we get into watch list, we're just gonna do full watch list today, and then we'll we're gonna fire through them, and we'll go one at a time, and you not one at a time. Like Jagger will start and he'll go through everything, but you gotta go lightning fast. Like, yeah, this was good. Boom, next. This was okay. Boom, next. This was okay.
Okay. Oh man. All right. Yeah. Yeah.
But before we get into that, we gotta check in how everybody's doing.
Yeah.
Jagger, I gotta say, man, it's either that shirt or you've been working out because you look swole, man. You look like.
Now, thank you for noticing,
dude. I knew it. I knew it. You look like you've been like putting on some muscle, dude.
Thank you so much.
What'd you say, Evan?
Me to trade a shame.
Yeah, man.
Chilling here with our chub.
Dude, it keeps me warm for the winter.
Too.
No, but you look good, dude. How are you doing? What you been up to?
I'm good. Shout out to my sister. She's off to college now. Yeah. So I haven't been doing much. I was helping her out a couple days ago. I was up there in Connecticut for a couple of days. So yeah, I'm doing all right.
Oh shit! How is Connecticut? I've never been up there.
It's nice. It's nice. Parts of it are all right. Parts of it are less all right. But it's pretty nice. It's very, very like fields, that type of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, the farthest northeast I've been is Boston. And that was for like a 24-hour layover.
Gotcha.
I've
been there
but
once, maybe twice. It's nice.
I liked it a lot. The food is damn good.
Yeah.
I got a lobster roll when I was in Boston. Holy cow. That shit bangs. Evan, what about you? What have you been up to? How are you doing?
I've been chilling. Work sucks. Cut my hours again, so that's not fun. I played Black Myth Wukong.
Was it good?
It was phenomenal. I put 38 hours into it and beat it. I'm on to New Game Plus. Loved it. Very, very good. Like, strong 9.5.
Wow.
A couple bosses that sucked, but banger game, so I've been doing that.
And what are you playing now?
I'm playing Lego Batman. Me and Trey are playing it. I played the first level today. Got stuck on the Clayface boss fight because I couldn't figure out what to do. I figured it out. You know, me and Trey are both. We're gonna race to see who can beat it. He's gonna beat me because I haven't played a Lego game since I was like 14. But
yeah, I'm already 50% the way through.
I'm done the first level, so
I 100%ed the first Lego Marvel, but it's saying
that game's a banger. Lego Batman is sick, so yeah, it's been chill. I'm moving. I get my keys to my new place on Sunday.
Hell yeah!
And then next week we're moving, so that'll be.
Is it bigger than where you're at now?
Yeah, it's bigger, and like right now we just have one long hallway and then 2 rooms, pretty much.
Yeah.
And now we have segmented rooms. There's 3 lights in our entire house, in the 2 bedrooms, and then a hallway. There's no light in our living room, so it's very dark all the time. So I'm very excited for the new place because it's got much more light.
That's good.
So that's gonna
good
be
for the mentals.
Good for the mental health because I get depressed when I sit in the dark all day.
Yeah.
Had therapy today. Protect your mental health, boys.
Yes.
Go to therapy. Reach out.
Yes.
Protect that shit. Yeah. Therapy was good.
Yeah.
And then.
Okay,
yeah.
Evan. Now you can ask me.
How's it going, Trey?
It's going.
Me and Trey watched The Peak today.
We did. Oh boy. Yeah, we will in a few minutes. But yeah, I'm doing good. Was on vacation in Central Oregon this weekend. Did some golfing.
Ooh.
Did some hiking. Did some reading.
Nice.
Ooh.
What are you reading?
Lots of good things. Oh, I'm still doing my reread of the Harry Potter books. I'm on Goblet of Fire now.
Ooh. I started reading Mickey 7, which Bong Joon-ho
shit.
is adapting. I'm listening to it at work. I'm about 2 hours into the audiobook. It's fucking peak.
I started reading Bram Stoker's Dracula. Dude, it's so good.
It's too bad the movie's mid.
It is?
I think it's mid.
Is that the one that Coppola directed?
Yeah. Keanu Reeves'
Oh, yeah.
worst performance ever. It's so overrated, that movie.
Well, let's be honest. Keanu Reeves is a great action star. He is not a great actor.
Did you see the Sonic trailer? That movie's gonna be fake. Sonic 3.
Jeez.
He's playing Shadow. No, trust Trey. Watch the trailer, you're gonna be hyped.
But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited to get into it today. So we're gonna do watch list, and Jagger, I'm gonna kick it to you first since you got the most.
Yeah.
So just like
Remember,
quick, rapid fire.
Speed,
Okay.
rapid fire.
So I'll start here. Scenes from a Marriage, 5. Satin Tango, 5. Dumb Money, 2. Fanny and Alexander, 5. Self Portrait, 4.5.
I need to stop this for 1 second. Jagger DM'd me and said, "I'm sorry, I'm watching Fanny and Alexander." Under extreme, like, don't do this from me. I told him to wait. I said, wait, because it will be even better once you've seen more Bergman. And he said,
It
nah,
was
I can't
so
wait.
good.
Yes.
I'm sorry. It looked great.
Yeah.
And I had
You'll
so
like
much-
it even more the next time you watch it, like 7 Bergmans from now.
Yeah, I picked this up. Unironically, I picked this up. And I have it so that after I watch the rest of them, I'm just gonna watch the TV cut. I'm just gonna watch the full 6-hour cut. All right, can I continue?
Yeah, go back. Sorry.
Okay. Self Portrait, 4.5. San Andreas, 1. Wild Strawberries, 4.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on there.
Holy L. Dude, there's a scene in San Andreas that makes it a 5 alone, and it's Paul Giamatti talking to a guy, and they're like looking at the San Andreas fault, and they say, "Who should we call?" And Paul Giamatti looks at him and goes, "Call everybody." And I saw this movie in the theaters with my dad. My dad, who I've seen every Jason Statham movie with. And when this scene happened, we looked at each other and said, "Call everybody," as Paul Giamatti said it, and it was one of the hypest moments in my entire life. San Andreas rips. Also, the ending is sick.
Well,
Yeah, that movie is so good.
I was not a fan. Wild Strawberries, 4. Through a Glass Darkly, 4. Stop Making Sense,
L.
5. Superbad, 5. Doom Generation, 5. 1 Hour Photo, 5. Knock Knock, 4. Straight Red.
Oh, hold on. Pause.
Yeah.
1 hour photo. I've been
Yeah.
thinking of checking that one out.
Dude,
Is it worth
Jagger messaged me and he goes, "You have to fucking watch 1 Hour Photo." And then he sends me a message like 30 seconds later and goes, "My bad. Didn't realize you've already seen it." Trey, it's sick. It's super creepy.
I was
Robin
gonna
Williams,
watched, and then I didn't see you, and I was like, oh my god, you'd love this movie.
No, it's really good. I think I have it at a strong 4, like 4 with a heart.
Yeah.
It's really good. The scene in the hotel, Jagger, is just like,
Ugh.
oh, it's really creepy. Yeah, really gross movie. Not a fun watch.
Lady Vengeance, 3.5. Terrifier, 2. Or the Terrifier short film, 2. The Terrifier first movie, 4. War and Peace, Part 1, 4.5. I started it. Terrifier 2, 3.5. Cuckoo, 3. Gone Girl, 4.
Pause really quick.
Yeah.
I am dying to check out Cuckoo because I love Hunter Schafer. I love Dan Stevens.
Yeah.
Everyone who's
Dan
seen
Stevens.
everyone who's seen it is hovering 2.5, 3, 3.5 area.
Yeah.
Do you think that I'm fine to wait for this to just watch on streaming at home?
Yeah. It's like you're expecting it to be something that it's not.
It was funny. Cash on the Film Scoop was talking about it, and he said he came home. He lives with Carl, and Carl was like, "How was it?" And he goes, "I'm not sure." And Carl's like, "Well, what was it about?" And Cash said, "I don't know what it was about." He said it does a really bad job at explaining what's going on.
I came up with a metaphor in my head of what it was about, and then I read like a director explained sort of thing. Yeah. He was like, "Oh, well, that's really lame." Like,
I do want to watch it really bad though.
I was talking to someone who said this movie is what I wanted Longlegs to be, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited now!" And I watched it. It was most definitely not what I wanted Longlegs to be. If Longlegs was this, I'd be equally as disappointed as I was in Longlegs.
Fuck off.
But September 24th, the 4K comes out, so I'll get it and I'll rewatch it with a different mindset this time.
Oh, yeah.
Gone Girl, 4.5 rewatch. Godfather, 5. Alien, 3.5. Gone with the Wind.
Oh,
We'll get into
Excuse
that.
me?
Yeah,
Alien 1, 3.5.
the 79 one, yeah.
Is this your first time watching it?
That's insane.
That's fucked up, dude.
That's
I think
crazy.
I had
What do you-
such high expectations for it because my dad loves it.
Jad sounds like a
And-
smart guy.
Yeah, I expected a lot out of it.
Have you seen Aliens?
Yeah, we'll get to
What do you
Aliens in a second.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Borat on a rewatch, 5. No one told me
W.
this movie was incredible. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
it's my second favorite comedy of all time. Borat's fucking perfect.
It's incredible.
Hey,
Um,
This might be an NS Trey's mom if you're listening. I'm gonna tell a scene from
oh,
Borat.
she's not. She hasn't listened in weeks. I can guarantee you
okay.
that, or else
So-
I would have heard about it.
There's a scene in Borat. I showed this movie to my girlfriend. I've seen it multiple times before this. She's laying on my chest as we watch this movie, and he goes to the Pride Parade. And he has some fun at the Pride Parade. And then he's talking to somebody, and he says, "You mean the man that shoved the rubber fist up my asshole was a homosexual?" And I started laughing so hard that I was literally bouncing my girlfriend's head off of my chest, and I felt bad. Borat is fucking genius.
Dude, you have no idea what you guys just did. I'm going to be quoting Borat for the rest of the episode.
Well,
My wife.
John Mulaney, Baby J, 5. John Mulaney, New in Town, 5. Aliens, 4.5.
God fucking
Aliens.
damn it, bro.
Aliens leaps and bounds better than the first one. I don't know. It just is.
Dude, I love being here and watching how triggered you get by Jagger, Evan. Oh my god.
Hey,
Let me.
they're
Okay,
doing
I'm
this
gonna.
thing with Halloween later. I can say whatever I want about it.
Yeah. That's fair. But I need to say a quick piece because I've seen Alien Romulus and I watched some of the other Alien movies.
Yeah.
Aliens loses everything that makes Aliens special. Alien is a small, very claustrophobic thriller horror. It is so tense. There's nothing in this ship. It's so claustrophobic. And then you watch Aliens and you have the Space Marines cracking jokes. It's a fucking action movie until the end when it's her and Newt. And then it's really good. The last 30 minutes of Aliens, amazing. The first hour, 2 hours, it's like 2.5 hours long. The first 2 hours of Aliens is not good.
It's so fun.
Fine.
Okay.
It is a bad horror movie because it's not a horror movie. It's a fucking
It's not a
action
horror
movie.
It's an
And
action movie.
Ridley Scott cooks up one of the most tense, fucking claustrophobic horror masterpieces of all time. And then James Cameron, who I love, comes in and he's like, "Man, I need action and guns and big boom." And it's a fucking action movie.
Okay.
It's a 3-star.
As someone that does not love action movies, I'd like to say, number one, the first Alien is not that claustrophobic. Number two, like claustrophobic in nature, yes, but just a really big letdown of a movie from the reputation it's gotten, absolutely. It's not that good. It's never that tense. And to be totally frank with you, it drags in a lot of respects. After Aliens, I watch Satin Tango again.
Oh my god.
As someone that I'd like to say, not to sound like a crusty old man, I think I like slow movies. I just think Alien's kind of boring. It's just not that good. And then, Aliens is exactly what I wanted out of Alien. I think I went into it knowing it was just an action movie, and that's all I wanted from it. It was fun, it was amusing, and it was entertaining. That's all I wanted out of it.
I'm
Sorry.
losing it. All right, continue.
Dude.
5.
I can't believe you watched Satin Tango twice and you couldn't watch 4 John Carpenter movies. That's so insane to me.
All right. Trying it at home is like, it's these dudes that follow me on TikTok. They made a Jackass tribute movie, and it's really funny.
Nice.
It's well worth checking out. Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls 4. This is the
Is that-
sequel.
I haven't seen the sequel. I love the first one. I have the first one at a 5-star.
It's really funny. If you have the first one at a 5, check this one out.
Jagger, the scene in the first movie when he parks the car and he goes like a glove is one of my favorite moments in the entire scene, in the entire like history of comedies. And also when he finds out that Dan is a man and he's doing the thing from, I can't remember what that movie's called, but he's doing the shower thing.
Oh, and then he's like taking the plunger.
Yeah, dude. That's a scene from another movie too. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, Ace Ventura is fucking amazing.
Well, if you like the like a glove thing, I'll let you know they do it again. So.
Yes. Okay, I'm watching Ace Ventura 2 tomorrow.
Dude, it's so I can't believe you haven't seen Ace Ventura 2.
I heard it was bad.
It's funny.
It's not. It's still I mean, obviously the first one is much better, but
yeah. Next, I have Ferris Bueller's Day Off, easy 5. It was one of my favorite movies since I was like in first grade. I love that movie. The Oogie Loves in Big Balloon Adventure, 4.5.
What the fuck is this? Jagger, I know you're not in the Real Talk Discord anymore, but you caught some mad flack for watching this movie.
So, here's some of the cast members. You might know a couple of them. Chaz Palminteri. Christopher Lloyd, Carrie Elwes, just some notable people.
Yeah.
This movie is about 3 people: Gooby, Zuzi, and Toofy.
Oh my god.
Their vacuum friend J. Edgar, their horny window friend Windy Window, and their fish Ruffy. It's Schluffy's birthday, and they need to get their magical balloons. So, the vacuum goes and gets the magical balloons, and then loses them on his way back home. So then they have to go out and meet up with a drunk Carrie Elwes to get the balloons back. And they meet up with a couple other people along the way. It's a musical. It's for children.
Okay.
I'd like you to know this movie sucks really, really hard. But I know someone who doesn't listen to the podcast that is starting a podcast where you can tell him one of your favorite movies and he has to watch it and review it with you on the podcast. He's a bit of a stickler when it comes to movies, and recently he really cracked down his ratings. He brought Old Boy down to a 3. He only has 2 5-star movies now. He's one of those guys now.
Wait, what are his 2 5-stars?
Let me get them for you. There might be like 4 now. But he really cracked down. Like, all of his old favorite movies, he brought down to a really low rating, which I thought was kind of silly. So now my goal is to make it look like I really love this movie so that I can make him review it on the podcast, because that sounds like a great idea in my mind.
Yeah, that sounds really funny.
So his now highest rated movies, he has 3 5-stars. La La Land, Challengers, and The Prisoner of Azkaban are his only 5 stars.
I haven't seen Challengers, but I have seen the other 2, and I can tell you this much. Those are both extremely valid 5 stars.
He only has now 28 4.5s, and he brought most of his reviews down to a 3.
Yeah, this guy sounds like he hates having a good time.
Yeah, so now I'm going to make him... what were his 3 5-stars? Prisoner of Azkaban, La La Land, and Challengers.
Sneaky.
So, I'm going to make him sit through the Oogie Loves and Big Balloon Adventure now. Yeah, but this was like a childhood movie for me. I've probably seen it upwards of 100 times. Because I really liked it when I was little, and then my younger brother loved it when he was little, so I had to watch it in the car every time we went in the car. The DVD was on. So, yeah.
Damn.
Do check this movie out, though.
Is this
Banger.
like a fever dream type movie?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay,
It's
cool.
horrifying.
I love that shit.
It's mortifying. Like, being caught watching this movie is the worst situation. Because a lot of the lines in this movie could be taken severely out of context. Like, this is not a movie that should exist. Please check it out. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 5. Halloween, 5. Trying It at Home, 2. 4.5. Howard the Duck, 3.5. Spider-Man No Way Home, 0.5 star. Me, Myself, and Irene, 4.5. John Mulaney, The Comeback Kid, 5. Stop Making Sense, 5. True Stories, 5. Just Around Monsters, 5. Skinamarink, 5. And then V for Vendetta, 5.
Okay, before we start the next one.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised at your ability to rewatch Skinamarink because, again, I loved Skinamarink on my first watch. I adored it. But I think the brilliance of Skinamarink is that it's built on anticipation.
Yeah, but
And
there's
it's
so much more to it.
Like, the reason Skinamarink is so scary is that it's building and building and building and building and building, but then nothing happens, and it keeps building. But then you know that nothing's gonna happen, so I feel like the rewatch value is just not there.
Okay, I'll explain.
Yeah.
So the reason I love Skinamarink, and a quick spoiler for Skinamarink, all three of us have seen it now, right?
Yes.
You can't really spoil it.
Yeah. Well, the way that this movie is so brilliant is because it's not necessarily the horror that's so great about it, it's the tragedy. It's that this kid fell down the stairs, slipped into a coma for a year and a half. The kid was 4 years old. And now it is charting his nightmare on his final night. And you're watching the things that he's grown to see in his house being slowly distorted more and more. Faces have gone missing.
Did I miss part of Skinamarink?
And now that he has slipped into a coma, his sister is no longer able to see him anymore and is no longer talking to him while he's in this coma. So she has her eyes and mouth removed. He is no longer able to see the eyes and mouth. And he is now hearing the voice of death itself talking to him as he's watching things slowly go away. Death is explaining to him what's happening. She wanted to see her mom and dad, so she's not able to talk to you anymore. And as Death is talking him out of it, at the very end, there's this really disturbing sequence where you're just seeing that now this memory that he had before he slipped into the coma is now down to this few-second blip of that moment when he actually fell. It's this rewinding, replaying moment of the blood splatter, which was the last thing he saw before he slipped. And then you see a face, the face of the telephone, you know? It, like, distorts. It's that final scary moment of something that he loved being shown to him in a terrifying manner. And then you just see a face in the darkness putting him, like, unplugging him, saying...
I need to rewatch this.
Saying, go to sleep.
Yeah. Did I miss something?
And
yeah, like, this is all not shown in the movie. This is interpretation.
And
but that's cool. I'm going to rewatch it.
No end credits. It's just death. That is the final cut of the movie. And I think it is absolutely magnificent. So I watch partied this with Toby, and if you have a chance to read his review, he cried, and he gave it a 5. It's really, really good. But I do suggest giving it a rewatch now with that in mind, please.
I will.
Yeah.
All right. Trey, do you want to go next? Or you want me to go?
I can go, I guess.
Well, I have less than you, so I can go if you want. It's up to you.
No, it's all good. I'll go. It's fine.
Jesus.
Okay,
Dude, I'm very scared for when Jagger watches Alien 3 and gives it a higher score than Alien 1.
That's probably what'll happen. Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. It's shit, but I love it. 4.5. The Reef. Stalked. An okay shark movie. 2.5. Watchmen. Peak as fuck. We've talked about this. 5 stars. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I believe we've also talked about this. 5 stars. Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. 5 stars. Easily. Godzilla. Gareth Edwards Godzilla. 4.5. Kong Skull Island. 4.5. Godzilla King of the Monsters. 4.5. Godzilla vs. Kong. 4.5. Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. 4 stars. Dan Stevens being an absolute Chad in this movie.
The only reason that Trey convinced me to watch those movies is because Dan Stevens is in it.
Yeah, and he's great. The Power Rangers movie, which I haven't seen since it came out in the theaters. 3.5. Sick as fuck. I don't care what anybody says. Shit. This movie's awesome. And Dacre Montgomery's in it. And he's just cool. Devil's Knot, solid crime thriller, 3.5. Also a true story. Monster House, first watch for me, dope as fuck, 4.5. Don't Leave Home, solid weird indie horror, 4 stars. Sausage Party, 4.5. That shit ripped, and I was very uncomfortable during the final 10 minutes.
Yep.
Sharktopus, half star, still ripped. Captain America: Civil War, 5 stars, of course. Dune Part 2, 5 stars. Avengers: Infinity War, 5 stars. Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice, 5 stars. Zack Snyder's Justice League, 4 stars. As Above, So Below, 4.5. Oculus, 5 stars.
Fuck yeah.
Black Christmas, 5 stars.
Boo.
Black Mirror: White Bear, loved it. Black Mirror: Shut Up and Dance, loved it. Harry Potter and the...
Trey, do you remember when you called me with like 15 minutes left in Shut Up and Dance?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you rescind what you said?
No. Or yes. It is very... It is not very relatable. Although this isn't... This isn't... These aren't topics for the podcast, Evan.
We'll talk about it later.
That is post-podcast talk.
Yeah.
I'll tell Jagger the story.
That's okay. Anyway, what's your next one?
I have seen that episode. That's a good episode.
All right. No more talking of Shut Up and Dance. Girl House. You guys both need to watch this.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch
I
this.
put it on my watch list. What is that movie?
Horny horror that rips. A lot of boobies, a lot of blood. The two B's that I look for in a horror movie: boobies and blood, but lots of both. And quite a scary killer as well.
Ooh.
So definitely check that one out. And then The Guest, me and Evan watched today.
Okay.
Dan Stevens, again, being the coolest motherfucker on the face of the planet.
Dan Stevens has more aura in this movie than Glenn Powell has ever had in his entire life.
That is so true. Oh my
I love
god.
Glenn Powell.
Dan Stevens is the coolest guy. And he's not like a Chad kind of guy where he's like, I only star in action movies. Because he was in Downton Abbey, and he was so good in Downton Abbey. I don't know if you guys have seen Downton Abbey.
I haven't, but I want to. I didn't know he was in it.
It's honestly so good. He's like the main character.
Fuck yeah.
Evan's like, guess I'm watching Downton Abbey now.
I was talking to Will, and he was like, dude, I loved him in Downton Abbey. And I was like, he was in Downton Abbey? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'm watching it.
Yeah. So that was my watch list.
All
Any
right.
questions?
No. Pretty base.
Yeah.
Except Snyder Cut, 4.5. Bump it up a little bit.
Speaking of based, we need to do our weekly shout out of the based
Yeah, shout out to Remy.
motherfucker.
What a cool guy.
Remy. What a cool guy.
Trey finally chatted with Remy. I've been telling Trey about how based Remy is all the time, and the two of them started yapping. Made me happy to see with my two goats.
Dude, because he's seen the peak-ass VHS movies.
Yeah, I did not know there was 4 VHS movies I hadn't seen, so I gotta watch those.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of them. They rip.
I gotta watch them before...
What'd you see, Jagger?
I saw like a thing from VHS 85 and it looked good.
Yeah, they're analog, like they're
not short films, they're anthologies.
Yeah, anthologies. That's the word I was looking for. It's like 5 short horror films in each one with one overarching plot.
Ooh.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
All
right.
Yeah.
Shall I?
Evan, take it away.
I watched Alien 3. It's shit, but it's not as bad as people say it is. I fucking hate the ending, though. The ending is awful. I watched Alien Covenant again. It's fucking awesome. It's so good. Michael Fassbender, absolute god in it. 4 stars. I used to have this at a 2.5, but I woke up. Eyes are opened. I watched War and Peace, the entire thing, in one day. It's a masterpiece. I didn't rate the movies individually, except for Part 3, which is the one with all the battles, because it is one of the most impressive feats of filmmaking I've ever seen in my entire life. War and Peace, fucking peak. It's on Criterion. It's split into 4 different movies. You can watch it. It doesn't feel like 7 hours. It goes by fast. Watch it. It's fucking sick. Jagger, I watched Uncle Boomy, Who Can Recall His Past Lives,
Yes.
and it was not what I expected at all, but I really enjoyed it.
Good.
I expected it to be like Boomy on a voyage himself, not this like kind of segmented fever dream. The scene with the catfish is fucking weird as shit. I really want to rewatch it, and I want to watch his other movies. The director, I don't know how to
Yeah.
say his name because it's long, but I
That
really
same,
enjoyed it.
that same cinematographer also did Challengers, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, Uncle Boomy, I gave it a 4 with a heart. I really enjoyed it. I want to watch it again though, just knowing what comes in it. After that, I watched Alien Resurrection. Dog shit, but like cheesy and like enjoyable dog shit. Gave it a star and a half. I saw Alien Romulus in IMAX, and it ripped. This was one of my favorite IMAX experiences. It is hella nostalgia baity. Jagger, try and watch Alien 2 and 3 before you see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved it. I gave it a 4.5. It's my second or third favorite of the Alien franchise. Visually, it's sick. David Johnson is amazing as Andy. Yeah, really, really good. Rewatched Deadpool and Wolverine with my dad. Held up.
Oh yeah, you told me about.
Yeah, the crowd was awful. The guy behind me, Jagger, when the movie ended, there was a Marvel fanboy behind me. He yelled out, "It's a Marvel flick, sit down," as people walked out before the post-credit scene hit. And I was astounded. It was fucking nuts. He laughed at every single joke, even the trailer jokes, like the pegging joke that was in the trailers. He was killing himself laughing. Clearly, he'd seen it before. So bad theater experience. Still
He was
like it
having
though.
a good time.
Yeah, really weird theater experience. Watch Gone with the Wind. We'll talk about it in a little bit. Watch Salt and Precinct 13 and Dark Star. We'll talk about those. Me and Ben have been binging Fellini. We finally made it to 8.5. It's a masterpiece. One of the best movies of all time. It is so meta and I don't want to say self-indulgent, but like
Self-aware.
self-aware. Fellini made this movie for himself to help process his own feelings about filmmaking. Visually, it's stunning. The score is incredible. It's just amazing. I loved it. 5 stars. Fucking peak. Second favorite Fellini. Not
Yours.
La Dolce Vita.
Okay.
La Dolce Vita is top 10 favorite movies of all time. It's perfect.
So wait, what should we start with if I'm like starting this?
Knights of Cabiria. I'll send you a list.
Okay.
It'll be 4 movies and then 8.5. After that, I watched Everybody Wants Some for the first time. Richard Linklater, Glenn Powell. Just vibes. You could watch it. Trey, you would love watching this movie while playing video games. I was baking bread while I watched this. Yeah, it's peak. It's so peak. Loved it. After that, watch Snakes on a Plane. It's fucking peak. What can I say? Sam Jackson. It's great. Dude gets bit on the penis head by a snake. It's fucking
my
hilarious.
God.
Snakes on a Plane is amazing. Have you not seen it, Trey?
No.
Dude, it's so good. Stars. After that, I watched the new Crow, 2024 Crow. Not as bad as I expected.
Really?
I gave it a star and a half because the action isn't awful. The script is the worst part of this movie. The script is atrocious.
I heard
But there's
that, like,
a scene.
romance aspects of it were terrible.
I mean, it's very bare bones.
Oh.
Very, very bare bones. Not a big part. Well, it is a big part, but like, yeah, the romance sucks. Script is terrible, but the action's good. There's a scene in an opera house that absolutely rips. Better than Borderlands, if that means anything. And then did a little triple feature of some Scooby-Doo movies. I watched The Scooby-Doo Project. Trey, you need to watch this movie as soon as possible. This came out the same year as The Blair Witch Project. The entire movie is real footage from The Blair Witch Project, but instead of the humans, it's Scooby-Doo characters. The animated Scooby-Doo characters over real life footage from the Blair Witch Project. It's fucking incredible. It's 22 minutes long and it's on YouTube and you can log it. It is so funny. 5 stars.
That sounds
Absolute
kind of
cinema.
sick, honestly.
It's so sick. I loved it. Scooby-Doo and the Cyber Chase, 4.5 peak. Scooby-Doo WrestleMania Mystery, absolute gas.
Yes.
Who's the main wrestler in it?
Is lots. Undertaker, Kane is the big baddie in this one. John Cena is the hero. It was
Of course he
absolute
is.
heat. Yeah, no, it was absolute heat. I watched.
Is
Oddity.
Macho Man Randy Savage in it?
Randy Savage is not in it.
Oh, then I'm not watching it.
This is a 2014 movie, Trey, if that's any consolation. So,
Still not watching it. There's no Randy Savage.
yeah,
If there's
sorry
no
about
Randy Savage or Stone Cold Steve Austin, then I'm not watching it.
Yeah, Stone Cold Steve Austin busts out and headbutts 2 beers and then walks away.
Wait, are you
No,
playing with
I'm
me?
kidding.
You...
I'm kidding.
Oh,
Sorry.
don't do that, Evan.
After that, I watched Oddity. I loved Oddity. This is such a good mood piece. It is super eerie. This is from the guy who made Caveat, Trey.
Yeah, I know. You've told me
And
this.
it's super similar vibes to Caveat. Very eerie, very creepy, visually disturbing. I gave it a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. After that, watched another 2024 release, Incoming. This is a super bad type coming of age movie, R-rated. Teenagers go to a party to try and fuck some girls. There's 2 jokes in this movie that made me laugh really hard. These kids, they're going to their first year of high school, and one of them is really short, and some bully looks down at the shortest kid and says, "How old are you?" And he goes, 15. And the bully goes, "Yeah, fucking right, years or months?" And that made me laugh. I thought that was super funny. And there's another scene where these stoners are like, they're saying, "Yeah, fuck 12, fuck the cops." And this super nerdy kid goes, "Oh yeah, we should totally defund those guys." And that made me laugh so hard. This was way better than I expected. I gave it a 3.5. It's on Netflix. I would recommend watching it. It's pretty good. Watch Spider-Man No Way Home, 2.5. Halloween, we'll talk about it. V for Vendetta, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Then I did a double feature of 2 new 2024 thriller releases. Blink Twice, Zoe Kravitz's directorial debut, starring Channing Tatum. This fucking ripped. Super creepy, super eerie. The third act's nuts. Visually really good. Scores great. Performances. Channing Tatum's amazing in it. Highly would recommend this. I gave this a 4 stars. And then I watched my new 7th favorite movie of 2024. This is easily one of my favorites of the decade. Strange Darling. You have to go see this movie, Jagger. This movie is fucking amazing.
Is it still playing in my theater?
I hope so. This movie is split into 6 chapters. It is non-linear storytelling. It starts at chapter 3. It bounces around. It's very Tarantino-esque with the way it's told. It is about a serial killer and their victim. No spoilers, because you really want to go into this blind. It takes place over the course of one night/day. The score is amazing. The visuals are amazing. It's super gross and gory and intense. I absolutely adored this movie. 5 stars. It's fucking amazing. You have to go see this movie.
Okay.
It's so good.
What's more important, going to Alien Romulus in IMAX after watching the Alien movies, or going to Strange Darling in normal?
Oh, that's like Sophie's choice for Evan.
Well, here's the thing. If it's IMAX, then go see Alien, because Alien is shot in the IMAX aspect ratio, so it's floor-to-ceiling screen. There's no black bars, which is insane that a horror movie gets that, and it benefits so much, dude. It's fucking insane in IMAX.
I'll see if I can get to Strange Darling before.
Yeah, I am assuming it'll probably hit streaming pretty quick, because this was a 2023 festival release that is now getting a theatrical run. Yeah, it's immaculate. I adored it so much. It's coming out in the UK in like a couple weeks, so I'm hoping Remy can see it soon. I was messaging him. I was like, dude, you're gonna love this movie. After that, I watched Someone's Watching Me. John Carpenter. We'll talk about that. Really enjoyed it. And then, yeah, I watched The Guest. This is my 4th or 5th time seeing it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Easily in my top 50. Dan Stevens, it's his best performance. He's absolutely electric. The synthwave score is insane. The neon lighting, the gore, the comedy is really funny and it's so good. 5 stars. Easy 5 stars. Peak. Yeah, I love The Guest. More people need to see it. Adam Wingard, the guy who made You're Next, which is also insanely slept on. That movie fucking rocks. And really quick, you're gonna, through the magic of editing, see me show some movies after this. But I just found some more movies, and I need to show some more cinematic masterpieces that I found on my desk.
Oh.
Shout out to Grown Ups for being one of the best movies of all time.
Hell yeah.
That's great.
Shout out to Amadeus, director's cut. Found this. This movie's perfect.
Dude, I remember that shit was all the rage when I first joined the Real Talk.
Yeah. Amadeus is a perfect film. And last but not least, Barbie Secret Agent Spy Squad. On
Hell
Blu-ray.
yeah.
Value Village. $4. Fucking peak. And then I have, to contrast that, my 2 Criterions right here. Got Harakiri.
Ooh.
And my favorite Criterion, Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai, which comes with, I think I've shown this off before, but it comes with the Way of the Samurai book, with all the passages that Forrest Whitaker reads throughout the movie.
Hell yeah.
Such
So
a
does that
sick-ass
mean
Criterion.
you're a samurai, Evan?
Yeah, I am. I'm literally Forrest Whitaker.
That's crazy.
Oh shit, and I got the Da Vinci Code. Shout out the Da Vinci Code. Da Vinci Code's sick.
Never seen it.
Peak. It's National Treasure, but more serious.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's on my watch list.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to do John Carpenter movies first, so if Evan needs to dip early because of
no.
work...
I'm good. I got an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, we'll be fine.
Okay,
We'll be
then
fine.
let's do our IMDb movies first.
Yeah.
First of all, for this week's movies, we were happy to welcome on Jackie. We recorded that this morning. I woke up at the buttfuck of dawn after being up till...
Oh, yeah.
after being up till 3 a.m. watching the movies for this because I didn't plan my time well. But yeah, we had him on to discuss No Way Home and V for Vendetta. So I'm going to cut that in right now and you guys can go and enjoy it. All right, everybody. For our first reviews of the day, we are joined by a good friend of the podcast. He has joined us today to discuss this week's, not last week's, this week's IMDb. Spider-Man No Way Home. I almost said Star Wars because I was just talking about Star Wars. And James McTeague's V for Vendetta. We are very excited to have him on today. Jackie, something we usually do is just we have our guests give their top 4, any top 4 really, just so let's get to know what kind of movies they're into. So I'll send it over to you. So just take it away.
All right, I'll go with my top 4 of the month right now. The movies I've seen this month. I have Mysterious Skin, It, God Bless America, and Night at the Museum.
Oh my god, that is a crazy top 4. Night at the Museum and It in the same top 4. That's crazy. That's so peak.
And Mysterious Skin's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen it, so I can't. I do need to watch that. Is that
The one with
Greg
Joseph
Araki?
Gordon-Levitt. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I know that.
It's his best
It
movie,
is?
by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg Araki's best movie by a long shot.
I've seen 6 of his films, I think.
Okay. Can I ask? Is it like the OG It with Tim Curry, or is it the first of the remakes?
It's the 2017 It.
Peak.
Okay, hell yeah, dude, that movie. Oh my good lord, it's so good.
Yeah.
That's the first horror movie I ever watched. I was at summer camp, sheltered Christian Trey, and my buddies were watching it, and I had nightmares. I was a freshman in high school, and I had nightmares after watching that opening scene. Oh my gosh.
I think the first horror I ever watched was a Blair Witch Project, which scarred me.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's a rough one to start with. Jagger wouldn't agree because Jagger thinks that movie's awful, but...
No, I don't have him at 4.5.
Wait, who... There's someone here... Evan, what do you have?
I have it at a 5. It's one of my favorite horror
God,
movies.
who have we talked to that doesn't like Blair Witch?
Seth hates it.
Yeah, Seth. Seth has it at 1.5.
It might be Seth when me and Jagger had him on.
Yeah, that must have been it.
Let's see.
Yeah. I get people's takes mixed up. But yeah, let's get into our reviews for today. First, we're going to be talking about V for Vendetta, which came out in 2005, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
05.
Yeah. Directed by James McTeague. This is his biggest movie. The only other movie I've heard about of his is The Raven, with John Cusack, about Edgar Allan Poe. So this is definitely his biggest one. 3.8 overall on Letterboxd. What number? 8 point. God, we're still in the 8.1s. God, we've been in the 8.1s for fucking forever. Natalie Portman, Hugo Weaving are both leading performances, and then you got Stephen Fry and John Hurt. Just a great cast, great film. Jackie, since you are our guest, I'm going to kick it to you first. And you can kind of give us your opening thoughts about the film, because I know you just finished it.
Yeah.
And then we'll all give our opening thoughts, and then we can go into like a discussion about it. But yeah, Jackie, what'd you think of this?
So I really liked it, first of all. I thought it was a really good, just like, portrayal of fascism as like a whole. There's a lot going for it. Definitely the acting. The acting was like amazing from everyone pretty much. The script was amazing. They were able to like put all these they put many like different phrases and like types of talking that is not very modern, and they put it into the film, and I think it was mostly V who said stuff like that, Hugo Weaving's character, but like they made it really simple to understand, if that makes sense. I thought that was cool. The cinematography, amazing. I don't know. I pretty much like the whole thing, but like I've only given it 4 stars because it's not like my favorite thing, but it's a really good movie. But I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. Jagger, I'll kick it to you next. What about you? You just finished it as well. What are your opening thoughts about this one?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of your points. I think that it is really, really well made. The cinematography is great. The visuals are great. Set design, fantastic. The concept, I think, is really clever. I think the script is fantastic. The acting is exceptional. Natalie Portman gives performance of a lifetime. There were a lot of scenes from her that were just like, wow, that is a great performance. But I, too, agree that this is not, like, there are just things that I look for in a movie. Don't even know what. This just didn't have all of them. I didn't love this as much as I do a lot of the 5 movies I give 5 stars, so I'm giving it a 4.5. But this is making my favorites list. I think this is really great. But yeah,
Hell
I
yeah.
understand why someone would give this a 5. I wouldn't argue with them on it. I think that it probably deserves a 5. But just off personal taste, really high 4.5.
Hell yeah. Evan?
Yeah. I used to not like this movie because it was my brother's favorite movie when I was a kid, and I was like, I want to be different. So I like hate watch this movie as a kid. I don't know why. It's peak. Yeah, it's just really entertaining. I recently read 1984, and let me tell you, this movie is that, but put a vigilante superhero in it instead of like a revolution, like secret revolution. And yeah, it's sick. Like it's really entertaining. V has insane aura. He's just piecing dudes up. Like the scene at the news station's just fucking insane. It's so much fun. The score is sick. Yeah, it's got like that Wachowski feel to it. Like it does kind of feel Matrixy at times, which I love.
Yeah.
Because the Matrix is.
I think they produced it.
They
if I'm
wrote
not
it.
They wrote it.
Yeah, they wrote it.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, they did. That makes
it's
sense.
fucking awesome. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad I rewatched it because I haven't seen it. My brother watches it every single year on the 5th of November. He's never missed a year since we were,
Hell yeah.
I don't know, 8 years old. We used to have
Hell yeah.
we had a replica Guy Fawkes mask from the movie. Like, yeah, it was his favorite shit. Yeah, it's really good.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. This was at the end of a long day of binging movies for the podcast. And I was pretty zapped going into it, but this was, I mean, I respect it so much because after 6 movies, it was good enough to like grab my attention and like wake me up again. I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. As me and Evan like to say frequently, this is just cool guys doing cool guy shit.
Yeah.
The action scenes, the cinematography for the action scenes is incredible. And just the concept and the message of this movie, it's hard not to draw lines to the current political landscape in America today and around the world. And I just thought, man, like this is why I think movies like this are why physical media is so important.
Yes.
Because if governments ever want to censor what people watch or take movies away, they can't take away your physical media copy. I mean, they'd have to break in, but I don't think they're going to be sending a SWAT team to break into my house and take my Blu-ray of V for Vendetta. And like, if we're like completely dependent on streaming services, they can alter, they can take stuff out and they can put stuff in, you know? So, like movies like this are always going to be very important. And you know, I just thought this was incredible. Hugo Weaving is just in his element here.
Yeah.
Before this, I had his number 1 performance as Elrond from Lord of the Rings, which he is damn good in. But, I mean, this has got to be number 1. He is so charismatic. Me and Evan were actually talking yesterday about, like, charismatic actors and characters. And, I mean, this has got to be up there. He just... God, every time he's on screen, I'm just glued to it. So, yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I am trying to think. I was stalling, trying to think of a question.
Trey, here,
what?
I'll fill the void while you think of questions. I was packing my physical media, and I got 3 of maybe the greatest films of all time sitting beside me. Shout out. This movie is so underrated. The Bad Guys. This shit rocks. This is a heist movie about a bunch of... it's like the Big Bad Wolf and a bunch of dudes. It's a stacked-ass cast. Sam Rockwell, main character, peak. You gotta watch it. It's actually really good.
I've read the books. I didn't even know there was a movie, though.
The best movie of all time, right here. The best movie of all time.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen the first one.
It's so fucking good. If you ever have a bad day, watch Paddington 2, and you're day will be a good day. And
I
finally,
Oh
I
yeah.
like the first
Just-
one more for Paddington.
that's insane. Really?
Yeah.
That's wild. That's kind of crazy.
I'm wondering for you guys, how obviously the Wachowski sisters wrote this movie, and how does this compare to The Matrix for you guys? Because it's very similar concepts of taking over the powers that be and revolution, and but it's presented in different ways. How does this compare for you guys?
Way better.
Whoa!
I've got The Matrix at 2 stars.
What?
What the fuck? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is insane. Oh my god.
I didn't like The Matrix. I don't know. Just something about it. I haven't seen it in years though.
God. That's going to take a minute to recover from. Jagger, what about you?
I have The Matrix at a 4. I think it's really good, but I do think this is better. I think as far as a lot of things go, as like what I said, what I look for in a movie, this just has more of it. I thought in this movie there is a moment where it just cuts to him watching Count of Monte Cristo and doing like what they're doing on screen. That made me laugh. I like that kind of stuff. It sort of reminds me of how a lot of people recently were doing that thing where they were double featuring Critters with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but they were putting Critters in as one of the turtles walked into the theater to watch it and then continued the movie after he walked out of the theater. I would love to double feature this movie with Count of Monte Cristo, and when a movie gives you an opportunity like that, it automatically ramps up my rating. So
Hell yeah.
yeah, I don't know. Things like that. I just prefer this to The Matrix.
Yeah. That scene reminded me of myself whenever the disc battles happen in Tron Legacy.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I gotta ask you, Jackie, have you seen the modern masterpiece Tron Legacy?
No, I haven't seen any of the Tron movies.
I'll tell you this first. Jagger hates Tron Legacy, and I'm not out here saying Tron Legacy is a great movie. It's
is a great
pretty... It is, I love it. I think it's fucking awesome. But the script is... it's not great. And all the CGI and, like, how it looks is incredible, except for CGI Jeff Bridges. Yikes. Lego Batman looks better than that.
All right.
But I will tell you this. Tron Legacy is the cool... I watched Tron Legacy maybe 15 times before I actually watched Tron, like the first one. Like, you can just go watch Tron Legacy.
I've never seen
and
the original.
It's actually... If you're a big fan of the of Tron Legacy, it's actually super cool. But yeah, Tron Legacy is dope. Back to V for Vendetta.
Yeah. I think that The Matrix wipes this movie because The Matrix is the best piece of science fiction action on the planet.
Except for Tron Legacy.
Tron Legacy, probably number 2. I think The Matrix is a perfect movie. It is so entertaining. The visuals are insane. The black trench coats, the leather, the fucking pistols and guns everywhere. It is sick. Shit, what's his name? The dude that's in Memento, he's like ends up being the bad guy in The Matrix.
Oh, Joe Pantalone. So
Yeah, love him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Love to hate him. Like, that's just great. The fuck, there's so many iconic shots. I have this probably closer to like what Matrix 2 is.
Oh, I've only ever seen the first one.
I love all the Matrix.
The Matrix had sequels.
Oh,
Wow.
There's 4.
I saw The Matrix 2 and I was just like, it was just sex.
Dude, The Matrix 2 has the best car chase of all time in it. It's fucking amazing.
Hey, man. No. Number 1 is French Connection.
I haven't seen
Number
it.
2 is Bullet. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen that movie either.
The
What about
dude,
the
the car.
opening scene of Ride Along? That's a pretty
Okay.
good one.
Okay. Okay.
I can't say I recall. Have seen that movie.
But yeah, verdict is V for Vendetta. Very good. Last question. Do you guys think this belongs on the IMDb top 250?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't fight it.
Yeah, but a little lower, I think.
Yeah.
I think it
'Cause-
belongs higher, Evan.
What rank is it at in the 250?
Oh, what is it? It's one... Are we in the 160s yet?
I think so. I don't see why not. It has to be, right? Ooh.
I don't know. Where are we? Let's see here. It's 159.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it should be a bit lower. But I
Okay.
do think it
I'm
deserves
trying to
to be
see
in there.
what the last couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have 3 billboards higher than this.
Oh, I think three billboards would be higher than this
Yeah.
for me.
That's they're on the same level for me, I'd say.
That's fair.
Yeah, so next up, number 158. Spider-Man No Way Home.
Wait, No Way Home is in the 250 on IMDb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
Well, so is Life of Brian. And,
Let me tell
This
you,
this is
You
so
know.
much worse. Brian's great.
I don't
Hold on a
like
second.
Monty Python, so
so, yeah, it's No Way Home, directed by John Watts, stars every actor ever, this is a rough one. Evan, I'm gonna kick it to you first.
okay.
Evan, give us your opening thoughts.
I used to be a diehard MCU fan. I was sad day one every single time until after Endgame, because COVID hit and I just stopped caring. And all the stuff that was straight to Disney Plus sucked for the most part. Not all of it, most of it.
I'm gonna pretend you're not including Moon Knight.
I love Moon Knight, dude. I love Moon Knight. Moon
So
Knight
good.
is so underrated. So I did not see No Way Home in theaters because I can't stand the insane people clapping and cheering in the theaters. That really bugs me. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just wait and watch it at home. Watched it at home, liked it. Rewatched it, and liked it less. I do really like the first half of this movie. I actually think it's pretty enjoyable when it's just Tom and the villains. I think that Doc Ock's really great, not being a pure villain. I like Willem Dafoe. People kind of overglaze that one scene when he kills Aunt May, though, I think. It's not that crazy of a scene, but I like it. I don't like Jamie Foxx. I think he's bad in this movie.
Yeah.
Dude, that scene at the electrical plant, maybe the worst Spider-Man suit in the history of comics ever. It
Yeah.
is so fucking ugly.
Wasn't he just naked?
No, the Tom suit I'm talking about, the black.
Oh,
and yellow.
I thought you were talking about Jamie
No.
Foxx still.
And then, yeah, after that, when the other Toms show up, or not Toms, other Peters, and then it's just fan nostalgia bait bullshit. There's pauses in the movie for people to clap. It's so fan servicey, and I just don't care. I don't think the visuals are that great. They're not horrific. They're not Black Panther Final Battle bad, but they're not Guardians of the Galaxy good. Yeah. It's just pretty mid after that. I give it a 2.5. I really like the first half more than I remembered. I checked It's like the first hour and a half, I think, because it was an hour left when the other Toms showed up, and I was like, I mean, the scene on the roof is cool, I guess, but again, that's like more fan service, great power, great responsibility shit.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Jagger?
Worst of the trilogy.
Oh, for sure. Jagger?
Yeah.
Opening thoughts?
So I have this movie at a 3 out of 100.
That's totally fair.
I can't stand it. I think that it is maybe the biggest gimmick I've ever seen in a movie. Like it is it's like I don't even know what to compare it to. I don't think I've ever seen a cash grab this large. It's 2.5 hours of this'll make money. And that's the whole movie. The whole movie is just a grab at money. They bring back the old villains. They bring back the 3 Spider-Men. They give it an ending that's going to get people sad, but then in the post-credit scene, we'll bring him back to being Spider-Man. So that way we can announce Spider-Man 4. It is the exact same issue that I have with what they've done with Robert Downey Jr. They just won't let things go. They can't do it.
Okay, breathe, Trey.
I think I'm more happy with the Doctor Doom announcement than I am with this movie's existence. This movie makes me...
That's fair.
Also, really quick,
and to make this clear, I'm not mad at Jagger. I am. Anytime somebody mentions the Doctor Doom casting, I'm just like, yeah. I just want to punch a wall. But Jackie, what about you? Opening thoughts.
I like it. I don't know. For me, I didn't really think of it as like a good film. I thought of it just as like a fun watch, something like to put on if you're like if you're like cooking or something and you just like need something on in the background, or if you're like folding laundry, just like put something on that you don't really need to pay that much attention to. That's what I thought of it as. I think it's just like good fun. So I have it at 3.5.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. For me, I'm kind of the opposite of Evan. I love the cheering at Marvel movies. When I went to see Endgame opening night, it was me, because I used to be a hardcore Marvel nerd. Like, every movie, opening night, saw it multiple times in the theaters, and it used to be like all I watched. And Endgame opening night, I've never had a better theater experience. Everybody was cheering and like, yeah! And when Cap picked up Thor's hammer, I felt the theater shake because everybody was just like, yeah! And like, I love that. The difference between here and this movie and Endgame is that Endgame actually holds up on rewatch. Endgame is still damn good. This movie, yikes. I think, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot I love about this. I love the Daredevil cameo. I'm always down for a good Daredevil cameo. But I do think that John Watts made a mistake by bringing in so many past villains. I think it would have been a lot better if he just brought in Doc Ock and maybe Electro.
I like Green Goblin.
Yeah, or Green Goblin, and I don't know. I just feel like and also the writing kind of ruins some of these villains. Like, it makes Lizard seem super dumb and goofy when he, in The Amazing Spider-Man, is very scary.
Dude, they should have brought Paul Giamatti back.
Oh my god. There was one time I fought a Russian guy in a rhinoceros suit.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, I think they're exactly what Jagger said. It's just so fan servicey and cash grabby. And also, historically, I'm not a big fan of the Tobey Spider-Man movies, but I will tell you this. When Andrew Garfield was talking about Gwen to Peter, and then when he saves MJ and he like tears up, I definitely got emotional a little bit, you know.
I remember the first time I saw that scene, I thought Andrew Garfield and Zendaya were about to fall in love. And there's going to be like a whole plot point to that.
Dude, I wouldn't blame her.
Disrespect.
Zendaya's just like, this Peter is hotter. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, there's just so much wrong with this movie. And, you know, it's I don't.
Dude, recent announcements have made the ending of this movie even worse because they said, I'm pretty sure this is real and not a meme, but they said Spider-Man 4 will come out 2 years, whatever. It will be a multiverse story. And No Way Home ends with you getting like some glimmer of hope that maybe we're going to get a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
I would pay so much money for a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man type movie. Give me that shit.
Well, I feel like we already got that with Homecoming.
Yeah, but still, like, you got ties. Iron Man's in it, shit like that. Like, you got a clean slate here. Nobody fucking knows who he is.
Yeah. You know what we should really do? What they should really do? They should just scrap Tom Holland as Spider-Man and just bring back Andrew Garfield. And he's just Spider-Man.
Just reset the MCU and cast,
Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
Cast, like, Scoot McNairy as Spider-Man or something.
Oh my god!
On the map.
Michael Shannon as Spider-Man.
Oh my god, that would be crazy. Unfriendly neighborhood Spider-Man right there.
What's his name? Danny Trejo? Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Man,
Yeah.
Dude, Danny Trejo's so friendly. I love that guy.
But yeah, do you guys have any last thoughts regarding No Way Home? Last topics of discussion?
I don't know. This movie, like, kind of was the downfall of superhero movies for me.
So true.
I really am tired of having, like, I don't want to ramble too much, but the fact that you had to binge WandaVision to watch Doctor Strange, or they told you had to, you totally didn't, but, like, fuck that shit. Guardians 3 is so good, and one of the reasons it's so good is because it has zero tie to the MCU, except for one scene where they make fun of how stupid the character decisions are in Endgame about the Guardians of the Galaxy. James Gunn is literally like, fuck you, Kevin Feige, like, let me leave my characters alone. Like, these are my babies. Sorry.
Come on, Evan. Have some professionalism.
That's my take your happy pills alarm.
Oh, hell yeah. I take happy pills too.
Yeah. So, yeah, I really... Deadpool and Wolverine was, like, weird because it's a mix of isolated story, but also lots of callbacks. We'll have a conversation about it when Trey sees it, but, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Once
it comes to streaming.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Gunn's DCU, just to have, like, a fresh slate.
Oh my god.
We need
James Gunn has never missed with a superhero movie.
No. He's fucking awesome. Just a cool guy. Superman gonna be sick. I'm very excited.
Yeah. And let's keep Andy Muschietti away from DC
fire him, please.
This time.
Fire him and just let James Gunn make Just James Gunn, make Brave and the Bold. If it takes 10 years longer to come out, fine. But like, fire Andy Muschietti, please.
Yeah.
Now, we'll come back to it at some point later in the episode, but I double featured this movie with Howard the Duck.
That's crazy.
With the 86 Howard the Duck. I'd like to make known that Howard the Duck is not only a better film than this, in my opinion, and we'll talk about Inside as well later, but I love Willem Dafoe. If Willem Dafoe were not in this movie, this would be a 0 out of 100. This is worse than the Old Boy remake. This is worse than Poughkeepsie Tapes. This movie is terrible.
All right. We don't have to be shooting strays at the Poughkeepsie Tapes, all right? You know? Come on. Come on now.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Yeah. Well, those are our first two IMDb movie reviews of the day. Jackie, thank you for joining us. Yeah, so we're going to get into our next two. I'm going to edit in here somewhere. So I'm not going to say bye because it's just going to keep going. All right. So we are back. Well, I can do it quick like that because I'm going to be cutting that. And I only need like a second of, But for you listeners, that's going to be like a whole half hour.
That was crazily entertaining, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was so good.
Man, Jackie had
So
that
good.
crazy Matrix take. I'm very mad about it.
Oh, I completely forget. Because we definitely sat and listened to that. Well,
Just
Yeah.
now, yeah,
We-
with you guys. Yeah.
exactly.
Can you believe that he likes Spider-Man No Way Home more than The Matrix?
That is crazy. That is crazy. But yeah. So, next movies up for IMDb. These are IMDb movies of last week. We're going to be discussing Gone with the Wind and Raging Bull. I think we're going to have some good conversation for each of these because we all have differing opinions. First of all, let's go Gone with the Wind. Jagger, why don't you get your thoughts out of the way
movie.
so me and Evan can just dog on you?
Dog on this piece of shit.
Okay. So, like,
Yeah, Jagger, go for it. I'm gonna mute my mic so I don't say anything.
so yeah, Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind was released in
1939. Victor Fleming came out with this the same year he came out with Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, so Gone with the Wind is it's a very classic film. Your grandparents probably love it.
Okay, real quick, Jagger, funny story about that. My grandma is over right now. She's like 82. And I asked her, because my mom was asking me, like, oh, how'd you like Gone with the Wind? And I was like, oh, it was shit. Just a bunch of racists.
I also
She was
told my
like-
grandma that I loved, or that I watched Gone with the Wind. She's like, oh, I love that movie.
Yeah, and my mom was like, hey, Mom, what do you think? Have you seen Gone with the Wind? And she's like, oh, yes, I love that movie. It's an excellent film.
See, your grandparents probably love it, and so do I. So I watched this movie on Max like a month ago, I'd say, and I only watched like the first half of it then. But on Max, this opens with a woman of color talking about how you need to understand this film is old
It
and
does.
it is triggering.
I just
So
got a big. Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you actually watched that part, Jagger?
Wait,
Yes,
didn't get
I
this.
did because I knew I needed to defend myself. So
Oh,
yeah,
I
rented
skipped
it.
that shit.
I rented this movie on YouTube and it just opened with a big black screen that said, "This movie's super racist." Sorry. I didn't say that exactly. But
That would be
along the lines of
crazy.
that.
This movie is super racist. Sorry.
Sorry, guys.
so it opens with a woman of color saying this movie is going to be like it could be triggering for a lot of people, so we want you to understand that this movie's old and
I
you
gotta
need to
search
take
that up.
into
That's crazy.
you need to take into account the fact that this movie has a lot of really powerful moments to it of cinematic brilliance. So please go into this with an open mind, willing to understand the time that this was made, the time it's portraying and the people that made it, and appreciate it for what it should be appreciated for. So I really did try and take that to heart when rewatching this movie because I haven't seen it in years. And yes, this movie is racist. It is disgusting. A lot of it is kind of bigotry. But being that this movie is about 100 years old, I decided to sort of skip over that in my head. And I felt a little bit wrong in doing it because as someone that has Jewish family members, I don't support Kanye West. I don't support Roman Polanski. I don't support any of these. I don't support J.K. Rowling. I don't support any of these
Fuck
people.
J.K. Rowling.
I have a very,
Yeah.
very aggressive
Fuck
view on
J.K. Rowling, but Harry Potter rips.
W. Harry Potter, W. Hogwarts Legacy.
I have a very, very
L
view on
L
things.
for Cho Chang.
El Cho Chang. I might go see Prisoner of Azkaban in theaters this weekend, though.
And I am
Oh
open.
my god.
I am open about that. I am not gonna act like I have any other view on it. I have two brothers who are adopted. They are both of color. And I think that watching this film did make me feel a little bit ucky. However, as far as visuals go, as far as the romance aspect goes, as far as the story goes, as far as the complete grandiose that this film contains, it is something that is totally worth noting. And it is a film that is absolutely exceptional. It revolutionized a lot of things in the days of the talkies. It's just a really, really great film in a lot of regards. So I did take that message to heart. I think TCM did the right thing in opening the film with that. I think that that's really smart. But I just think that this is a splendid film. It is huge. It is beautiful in visuals. It is a really, really interesting way of telling a story. I love this era of Technicolor film. There's something about it that really does appease my tastes. This is just a film that I love. And I think that completely shooting this movie down because of what it has in it, you're not wrong. I think that there is nothing wrong with that. I think that if that's how you view this film, go right ahead. I won't fight that in the slightest. I won't debate it. It's probably a better way of viewing it in 2024. But I'm not here to talk political. I'm here to talk about the film. And as far as the film goes, it is a spectacle. And that's all I can say.
I don't shoot it down because it's racist. I shoot it down because it's fucking boring. Sorry. It's 4 hours long. I don't care about the Civil War. I don't know anything about the Civil War. We didn't study it in school. We studied Canada and Britain burning down the White House. W Canada.
Oh, I didn't
Like-
even know that was a thing.
War of
neither.
1812. Like, yeah, this movie is so insanely boring.
War of 1812, shout out V for Vendetta.
Yeah,
Woo!
true.
Wait,
Visually-
are those the same thing?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay.
This movie is so boring. I don't care about the story. I don't care about the characters. I have no issue with long movies. I watched War and Peace the same week I watched this movie. Like, maybe if I was American and had context to the Civil War, but having a movie give me a history lesson and then give me like racist stuff and then a boring romance and just like, if this was like 2.5 hours long, I could see it hitting. But I was just so drained at the 3-hour mark that I was like checked out. I debated going to Wendy's tray because if I'm really not enjoying a movie, I'll let it play and I'll go to Wendy's and just let it play.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, this is super boring. I cannot say enough though about how good this movie looks. It's kind of insane that this movie came out almost 100 years ago. It is nuts. Like, on a technical level, it's astounding. And it's just insane. The color palette, it's so vibrant and bright, and like it's a very warm color palette, which I love. Yeah, so on the story note, I thought it was boring as shit, but on a technical note, it's insane. It looks so good. Performances are good, score's good. It just didn't speak to me. Like, I could see it speaking to people, but when the story doesn't hook me on a movie that's this long, I just can't do anything. I'm sorry.
That's fair.
I did find one more movie that I would like to say that is better than Gone with the Wind. Shout out to Angels and Demons, the sequel to the Da Vinci Code. This is better than Gone with the Wind. Yeah, I'm glad I watched it though, because I think it's a pretty historical landmark in cinema, and yeah, it's absolutely stunning. Like, I would love to watch like an hour of this in theaters. Not the whole thing because it's boring, but
And shout out to the final scene of this movie for being so great.
yeah, well, I don't remember the ending, but sorry. Yeah, like, I don't know what to tell you. Trey called me when he was watching it, and I'm sure he'll tell you about it, but he was like, I'm watching Gone with the Wind, and I said, how much do you have left? And he was like, well, I started it at 10 a.m., so I've got like 2.5 hours left. And I'm like, that's such a great encapsulation of this movie, because one thing I find with long movies is you don't ask how much is left, or you don't care about how much is left, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I remember the first time this hit for me, I was watching Walk the Line, and my mom came downstairs. And it's a longer movie. It's not crazy long, but like over 2 hours. And she was like, well, how much is left? And I said, I don't know. I don't want to know, because I'm just enjoying this story so much. And I think that there's an interesting conversation there about longer movies and what earns it runtime and what doesn't. Like, again, I'm not the target audience for this movie, and I am definitely biased about it, so don't take my word for it. I think it's worth watching just for the visuals and how crazy it is that this movie existed in the time that it did, but yeah, wasn't for me. 2 stars. I did give it 2 stars, though. Trey hates it more than I do.
Okay, Trey.
All right, Trey, go off, King. Go off, King.
All right. So, Evan, just for your information, so the Civil War was between the northern United States and the southern United States. The North was led by none other than the GOAT, Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Ever heard of him? Vampire hunter?
Yeah. Cool
Zombie
guy.
killer?
Do we know who led the South? No, because he lost. What a fucking loser.
Ulysses S. Grant led the South.
Wait, I've heard that name before.
Shit,
maybe I haven't.
So, and basically, the two different viewpoints, the North was like, hey, we shouldn't enslave other humans. And the South was like, hell yeah, we should. And so they went to war, you know? And there's one side of that is you're like, yeah, I'd be on that side. It's pretty gosh darn obvious.
Yeah.
And this is the reason I hate this movie so much, is that it opens. And this was made in a time this was made in 1939. This was years.
Civil War?
Civil War was...
It was late 1800s, right?
Yeah, I think.
Wasn't that long before this movie, though. Which is crazy.
1860s.
Oh,
so this was about 80 years after the Civil War. So 1939. Everything was still segregated. There was still, like, people of color were not treated well.
Women had no rights.
Yeah. As it should be. No, I'm just kidding. I love women. I am
I love women.
Dude, who doesn't?
Jesus Christ. I love you so much, Trey.
Yeah. No, but like, yes, our country was still an awful place at the time, but the ideals of the American South before the Civil War were still viewed by the general public at this time as not good, you know? Yeah. People were still like, yikes, that ain't good. So even people at the... Jagger, was that your grandma walking through the doorway in the back?
Yeah.
That's great. So even at this time, people were still like, yeah, that ain't great. You know? And this movie opened... So even for 1939, this was insanely racist. Because this movie opens with like a written monologue of how, oh, the old American South was so amazing and the Civil War ruined it. We should go back to the old American South when times were better, when we all owned slaves. It's just like... And I guarantee you, people even then were probably like, yeesh, this is very problematic. And look, I'll give you this. I do think the visuals are amazing. Victor Fleming, visually, I know Evan hasn't seen Wizard of Oz, but Wizard of Oz is one of the coolest looking movies ever visually.
Dog, that movie's so hard to watch it.
I'm excited for you to watch it and just be like, okay, that was actually kind of good.
It's gonna get the same score as fucking Gone with the Wind, because Victor Fleming, cancer merchant, racism merchant.
It's true. Yeah, but the thing with Wizard of Oz is I was able to let those parts go because he wasn't being racist. Sure, it may have been offensive towards little people, but...
And gave half the cast cancer.
Yeah, but what are you going to do, man? You can't win all the battles. You can't win them all.
God damn it.
At least he's not being racist. At least it's just cancer this time.
Wind won 8 Oscars. That's crazy.
Jagger, tell your brother hi for me. He's right behind you.
Hello.
Hi, Roman.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Are you excited for school to start up again?
Not at all.
Yeah, me neither.
Tomorrow, doesn't it?
Not for me. I start next Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's crazy is that this movie won Best Screenplay.
Yeah. So, and also, I will give you this. Clark Gable is great in this movie. He's a Chad. He has aura, if I'm using those words correctly. But let me tell you this. The reason, Jagger, I don't buy into any of the love stories here is because... Is it Vivian Lee that plays Scarlet?
Yeah.
Vivian Lee's character is easily one of the most annoying and despicable characters I have ever seen in cinema. Yeah. She's the absolute worst and treats no one. She just treats everybody terribly, including Clark Gable, who may deserve it. Not a great dude, a war profiteer, let's be honest.
I'm reading the trivia right now, and Hattie McDaniel, who won an Oscar for this movie, couldn't even go to the premiere because of segregation. Like,
yeah, dude.
they got some shit glorifying that in this movie.
Oy.
Crazy,
dude. The part with
those are my problems with this movie.
Unacceptable. This movie has some moments that are very unacceptable. And I'll give
this movie has a lot of things that are very unacceptable.
Yeah, I know that. I know.
It's also fucking boring.
It's also really boring, dude. I'm glad I start because that was like a 6-movie binge I went on. Let's see. Gone with the Wind, Raging Bull, Assault on Precinct 13, Halloween, Somebody's Wife, and V for Vendetta. That's 6 movies. I'm so glad I started with this and just got it out of the way. Because everything after that was peak.
The first half is better than the second half. The second half of this movie is way more boring. So you're like, ugh, trying to slog through to the fucking end.
Yeah. And Jagger, I totally understand where you're coming from. I want to make this clear. I'm not like, Jagger must be a racist. Yeah. I totally understand where you're coming from. But I'm just like...
Yeah.
I don't enjoy the good parts enough for it to outweigh the bad parts.
Hey man, that's totally fair. I know a lot of people that are controversial that I agree with you on. So, like, that's fine. I won't fight you on any of that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have the same conversation when we watch Chinatown next week?
Oh God.
Shout out
I
to
don't know.
for
Roman
fleeing the
Polanski,
fucking country.
bad dude. Chinatown, great film.
Yeah, and Rosemary's Baby is great, but also Roman Polanski fled the country because he's a rapist. Like, I mean, what are we talking about here? Like, he literally fled the country to avoid going
See?
to prison.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's
Oh my
the thing.
God, Trent.
I'm not about to defend rape. I'm not, and I think
Don't.
I'm not going to. What Roman Polanski did is awful. He deserves to rot in hell, if there is a hell. I mean, I don't know. I can tell you this: if there is a hell, it's gonna be me just sitting there watching Gone with the Wind on loop.
Didn't you fuck his daughter too?
Yeah, probably.
He fucked his
Awful dude.
stepdaughter, I think.
Wait, do we have
When
any
it comes,
movies on this list?
any what?
Woody Allen movies on this list?
Oh, I'm sure Annie Hall is on here.
Hey man, say what you want about Woody Allen. I have Annie Hall at a 5. That's another
See,
problem.
that's the thing, is that
This is a crazy episode, dude.
dude, no, that's the thing, is you can separate art from the artist until that artist's fucked up beliefs start bleeding into the art. That is why I have such a problem with Gone with the Wind, because Victor Fleming is like, God, let's go back to owning slaves, and but like you don't see Jack Nicholson in Chinatown being like, hey, let's go fuck some kids, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, come on, am I crazy here?
No, you're right. But
God,
also,
you're right. You're right.
I think I'm breaking dude. My jokes are on point today. I'm on a roll, and I am breaking Jagger, and I am loving it.
I'm excited to rewatch Rosemary's Baby. Maybe that'll
Oh
be
my God.
in October. What's our... Yeah, Gone with the Wind should not be... Well, if this movie is on the IMDb Top 250, put it at the fucking bottom. Because it is visually good. It's a bad movie. It's boring. It's racist. It's so boring, though. Oh my God.
Guys, this is our Emmy episode. We got to get it together.
What do you mean our Emmy episode? What does that mean?
This is the best episode we've released in a long time. We gotta get our...
Let's talk about Raging Bull. I'm done with Gone with the Wind if you guys are.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Raging Bull.
Speaking of fucking kids, Raging Bull.
Yeah, holy shit.
Oh man,
this movie is overrated and an atrocious watch because you have to watch Danny DeVito. Nope. Is it? Yeah.
No, it's Joe Pesci, you idiot.
Sorry, Joe Pesci. Got him confused. You have to watch Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro talk about how they both want to fuck a 16-year-old in this movie.
That's true.
Yeah. Trey.
Okay.
Standing up for this movie. Well.
Yeah, I am. Till the end.
I am.
Okay.
And I'm going to defend this movie in the same way that Jagger defended with Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, okay.
The technical aspects and the good parts of this film so far outweigh the bad parts. Yes, I do recognize that there's a lot of things about this film that are problematic. But drawing the line back to Gone with the Wind, there's a lot of problematic parts with Gone with the Wind. But those are completely fictionalized. Gone with the Wind is not a true story. Victor Fleming decided to make these choices, you know? Martin Scorsese, on the other hand, is telling a true story. And I know, as far as we are talking about biopics, because I know we've had these discussions before, you want to be as true to that person as possible. And as it happens, Jake LaMotta, not a good dude.
Okay.
So there is going to be... But it's not like Martin Scorsese was... It's not like the Elvis situation where Baz Luhrmann made Elvis seem like a god when he was really an awful person. Martin Scorsese made a true, very raw, very real biopic about this guy, and he didn't sugarcoat anything. He's like, yeah, this guy, bad dude, not a good dude.
Okay.
You know, and I respect that so much.
I would like to go first because I'm the lowest on this movie.
Go ahead.
Again, I like this movie a lot. I have this at a 4-star. Raging Bull's great. Maybe I went into this movie with skewed expectations. I didn't know shit about Jake LaMotta. I watched this for the first time this year. I'd never seen this movie before.
Okay.
I knew it was what I had heard about this movie was that it was a family drama with fighting scenes in it. It wasn't a sports movie. It wasn't a fighting movie. It's like, okay. I think the black and white is such a perfect choice for this movie. It is visually stunning. I didn't rewatch it. I kind of want to.
It's
Maybe
really
I will after hearing you guys talk about it because I know you both love it a lot. I had a horrible time watching this movie. I don't have an issue with feel bad movies like at all. I actually quite enjoy them, but I just found that like with a feel bad movie, you usually have something to root for and they take it away. But in this movie, it's just like you're just watching a fucking train crash, and that's not a bad thing necessarily, but I think my expectations were skewed a bit to the point where I was like, this is awful to watch. This is awful to watch. This is awful to watch. The fight scenes are great. The family drama stuff is great. Robert De Niro is an absolute menace to society in this movie.
Yeah.
Again, I think it's my expectations that I had going into it that made me... Because I had always heard this is one of Scorsese's best. It's one of the best movies of all time. It's one of the best sports movies of all time. One of the best biopics, you know. It's a very acclaimed movie. And, yeah, I don't know. Like, I watched Warrior. We talked about it a couple months ago, and it's like... I think Warrior wipes this movie.
Oh, 100%.
I do think it's one of De Niro's better performances. Not his best, by any means, but I do like it, and... Yeah, I don't know. I think the black and white is the best part, though. Like, it's the best choice that Scorsese made making this movie because it feels so authentic. The stuff with Jake in his like stand-up show or whatever, I don't remember it exactly.
Yeah.
His stand-up, you know, yeah. It felt a little weird knowing like I didn't want to see Jake LaMotta's future in this movie. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I get.
It's weird. It's like he's young. Like he's a young guy in this movie, and it's like I don't want to see him when he's 50 years old, and it has been. Like it just kind of. I get it because it's like, yeah, he's
True.
washed up for sure, but also it feels like it doesn't fit the story a little bit. I'm not sure. Man, now I want to rewatch it. But yeah, like I had a bad time watching it because it made me mad and sad because I didn't know what to expect, and I think the future stuff was a bit shoehorned in. But yeah, that those were my issues again, just off like memory of a first watch a couple months ago.
You should rewatch it.
Yeah, I think I will. It's the same as like some of the other movies where it's like you want to rewatch it with the correct expectations.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Right.
Uncle Boomy, same thing, you know? You set your expectations, you rewatch it.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing with Long Legs. So I get what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
because Jagger is insane and doesn't like long legs. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure
my
is.
God.
Out on digital now. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. Yeah, that's what I have to say about Raging Bull.
So
4
Trey.
star.
Oh yeah. 4-star.
It's probably upper Scorsese, maybe sitting around Wolf of Wall Street level.
Ouch.
I think I have Wolf of Wall Street at a 4.5. I haven't seen it in a while, but
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, man.
I found the third act crazy high or low for Wolf of Wall Street.
Crazy high.
That's crazy high.
You don't like Wolf of Wall Street?
I have
Wolf of Wall Street is poopy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think I have it at a 3.
Whoa. The only part of Wolf of Wall Street I don't like is the third act when it's like the police stuff. I think it falls off there, but the first 2 acts are fucking so good, dude. We'll talk about that another time.
That's
Um,
yeah.
yeah.
All right, Troy, pick this one up for me. I'll finish them off.
I think, God, I'm loving the Jagger's grandma cameos. I think that there's a lot that's problematic with this movie. Obviously, coitus with children at any time is not okay.
Yeah.
But I do think there's a lot of aspects about this that really work. I think it's one of De Niro's best performances. I think it might be Pesci's best performance. I don't think that's that crazy to say.
Casino.
Casino's mid. Just watch Goodfellas.
Casino's better than Goodfellas, but keep going.
What?
I can't speak on it.
Goodfellas is a 4, Casino's a 4.5. Oh shoot! I lost the
By
person
the way.
helping me defend. this movie.
First off,
My bad.
Goodfellas is an easy 5. Ray Liotta, insane, dude.
I gotta rewatch it.
We need to do a Scorsese deep dive at some point because I need an excuse to watch the Nicolas Cage paramedic movie. And I keep putting.
Sorry, guys. Had to punch the punching bag in the wall. Feel much better now. We can move on. I think Raging Bull has a lot going for it. I think it has some of the best choreographed boxing scenes outside of Warrior.
Yeah, well, it's
Even though that's not boxing. I just really enjoy it. You know, also on the tails of Gone with the Wind. I was like, holy cow, this movie flew by. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I really enjoy Raging Bull. And I'm not always the biggest Scorsese fan. I mean, you guys know my Killers of the Flower Moon take. I'm not always a huge Scorsese guy. So,
I'm scared.
Oh, I think I have Flower Moon at a 2, 2.5.
I have Flower Moon at a 5.
Fuck yeah.
Yes, Jagger, we've had this
Jagger.
conversation.
Fuck yeah, dude. Killers of the Flower Moon is big.
Okay.
But yeah, Jagger, you want to pick it up?
Yeah, so this movie, like we've already mentioned, is a true story. Here's a family photo of my grandfather with Mike Tyson. Just
Holy shit.
for
That's
context.
crazy.
Yeah. So, my dad went to see this movie with him, who had previously met Jake LaMotta under circumstances. He said that this movie is the most accurate depiction that you could have gotten of that man. That this movie was raw, it was real, and it showed his whole story with complete honesty and unflinching realism.
Yeah.
I think that the fact that this movie is real is insane in and of itself. Like, the story going on here is psychotic, but I think that everything that this movie does works. I have a list of 6 movies, in my opinion, that top the 100 out of 100 rating. This is on there. This is a visual spectacle. It has an incredibly well put together story. It's real. It's harsh. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, at a couple of moments, it's like, oh my god, that man is a monster. He is an animal. And I think that the fact that that is the way that that is, it's just great. Cinematography, incredible. The cinematography during the matches is some of my favorite cinematography ever. I think that some of those shots are just great. I have the criteria for this movie. I think that this movie is an absolute, not delight to watch, but like going into this movie and then coming out of this movie, it's almost like you've put yourself through the man's whole life in, I mean, how long is this? 2 hours,
9 minutes.
And it's really well paced. I mean, is some of it uncomfortable? Yeah, but same with American Beauty. I mean, some of it is definitely uncomfortable, but that doesn't take away from how incredible the film is. I mean, I don't know. It's a problem. It's a problematic movie. I don't know.
I don't think it's a problematic movie. Like, it's just like an unpleasant watch. But that's not the downfall of the movie. That's not a fault.
Yeah, no. It is an unpleasant watch, is a much
Yeah.
better way to put it. It's like,
Same as like
Yeah.
Manchester by the Sea, where it's just like a downer.
yeah, and it's not a fun movie to watch, but it has rewatch value. Evan, I would disagree. I think the ending of this movie is really the full buildup of it working to that.
Yeah,
I
tell
think
me about it.
he said to Robert De Niro, like, we have makeup for you. Please do not do what you do and just like actually put on weight. He came in 70 pounds heavier, I think it was. He came in heavy, ready to work.
Damn.
And he just came in and did it. And he acted out the whole end of it, did this movie, gave the performance of a lifetime, and then lost all the weight again. That is commitment. I mean, this is like, in my opinion, on par with The Machinist, with like, man, he's working for it, and it is paying off. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, shout out to The Machinist. Great movie.
Yeah, cool movie.
Peak ass movie.
Really
Like,
good. Yeah.
This movie
Oh,
is...
I'm due for a Machinist rewatch.
Yeah, man. Same here. Same here. Yeah,
That shit is gas.
Yeah, man, this movie's well worth watching. I think that this is, in my opinion, an easy 500 out of 100. Whatever I can say to praise this movie, I will. This movie's on par with The Godfather, 400 Blows, those movies for me. It's up there. So, I don't know. This is it's a great film. It's a great.
I will rewatch it for sure.
All right, John. Let's start our John Carpenter director deep dive.
Do you want to go in
Evan,
order, or you
I
want
kind of do want to go in order.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start with Dark Star.
So John Carpenter's like feature, or what do you call it? Like their first one?
Debut feature length film.
Yeah.
I gotta pull up Letterboxd. I want to see what year this
Yeah. Dark Star, 1974.
is. Okay.
John Carpenter's debut feature-length film.
A low-budget sci-fi satire that focuses on a group of scientists whose mission is to destroy unstable planets. 20 years into their mission, they have to battle their alien mascot that resembles a beach ball, as well as serve a sensitive and intelligent bombing device that starts to question the meaning of its own existence.
Yes, Jagger.
This movie is so self-aware. If you've seen Office Space, it's Office Space in space. It is so fucking funny. It's
What am I
people
missing
hating their
out on?
jobs. It's people running into shitty work experiences. It's an existential HAL 9000. There's a beach ball alien. This movie is so funny. It's like 75 minutes long. The effects are super 70s. Yeah, this is just a really good time. I have this. Sorry, there's some fly or something. There's like it's a 3.5, a very strong 3.5 for me. I thought it was an absolute blast. It's funny. It's weird. The ending scene of this movie is so perfect.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible.
Dude, the way this movie cuts to the music at the end reminded me of how the SpongeBob SquarePants movie ends, cutting to Ocean Man. Do you know what I mean,
Ocean
Charlie?
Man.
It is that same kind of vibe. I have no other mutuals that have seen this movie. It's just so stupid. It's really, really stupid. The jokes are ridiculous. There's a whole bit where the main guy is just playing logic games with the HAL 9000 type computer. I can't remember its name, but to try and convince it to not blow up and kill itself. And it is so funny and self-aware and over the top. I'm both surprised and not surprised that it's a John Carpenter movie, because first off, I mean, Carpenter scores his own movies and the score is sick as per usual. Yeah, it's just a lot of fun.
What's the country song he made for this movie?
Oh. Let me see if I can find it.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's so goofy.
Is this actually this random? Because this sounds like a fever dream.
Oh, it's totally
Yeah.
fever dream.
Dude, it's wild.
Dude, it is so much fun. Yeah, this movie is really great. It's super silly. It's very
Yeah.
self-aware. The ending is incredibly funny.
Yeah, I was like crying laughing.
Yeah. You what did you give this, Trey? I think you gave it the same as me.
I think you gave it a 3.5.
Yeah.
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 I would highly recommend this. Like it I don't have a lot to say about it because I don't really want to spoil a lot of the scenes. The beach ball shit is hilarious.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, because
opening-
Jagger, we know you're gonna like this.
yeah, you're gonna like it. It's really self-aware, really silly, really dumb.
Yeah.
It's super goofy. Like it's Office Space vibes, but like crank the goofy meter to max.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm sad that not enough people have seen this because you should watch it. It's very worth the watch.
Yeah. 100% agree.
Easy 3.5. It's a great movie. Could be a 4. I could easily rewatch this. It's so short. Like it goes by like that. Yeah, great time. Loved it. Do you have
Yeah.
anything else you want to say about it, Trey?
No, you got it all, man. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very, very good. Yeah. Next up,
Yeah. Why don't you kick
John-
this one off, Trey? Because you loved this movie.
John Carpenter's maybe his best movie.
Dude, I gotta watch this tonight. Maybe. I don't know. It's great.
I don't know if Jagger you would like it,
Oh.
but guess what I can tell you? I liked it.
Yeah. Dude, Trey,
Um,
the scene at the ice cream truck is nuts.
Yeah.
Was not expecting that to happen.
Assault on Precinct 13. This is just a cool guys doing cool guy shit movie. Asking if they got smokes, you know, the general gist.
Yeah, my letterbox review says gotta smoke because the infamous criminal just says
Yeah,
gotta smoke.
Napoleon Wilson.
And when he gets a smoke, he says gotta light. You know?
Yeah, dude.
Trey,
As
tell
one
Jagger
does.
about this movie. Sell him on it.
God, this movie is so gas. Basically, I just need to tell you what it's about, and it's
Yeah.
like... So basically, here's what happens. There's a lieutenant. It's his first night out on the job, and they're like, hey, we're shutting down this old police precinct. We're relocating it. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie where the rookie cop goes to the old police precinct just to watch over it for one night, and it's like haunted.
No.
I think it's
That
called
exists?
Last Night.
Last
Yeah.
Shift?
Last Shift.
Dude, I have been wanting to watch that for so long. That's what that movie's about?
Shit's
Oh
heat.
my God.
I have that movie on DVD.
Fuck.
That shit is heat, brother. No, but this cop, he goes there, minimal staff, like 2 secretaries, and then just him. On the other side of town, they're doing some prisoner transfers of 3 guys going on death row. Most infamously, Napoleon Wilson. We don't really know what he's going to death row for, but we know not a great dude. He's killed some people, robbed some banks, just breaking the law kind of shit, you know?
Yep.
And so they're on a bus going across town. Third thing that is happening, a dad and his daughter hanging out. Attacked by gang members. All shit goes awry.
Yeah.
Now, what ends up this is all in the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
What ends up happening is the prisoner transfers, the prison bus has to stop at the abandoned precinct because one of the prisoners is sick and they have to call a doctor. So all of these people, and and this dad and daughter, they're all in this police precinct.
Well, not the daughter.
And this... Shut up, Evan! I'm trying not to spoil it.
Sorry.
You've done this to Jagger before. I'm not going to let you do it again.
Twilight.
Don't fucking talk to me at Twilight. Biggest Twilight gazer on the planet, and I assume you've seen all the movies. Don't.
Yeah, I have seen all the movies. They're all 5s. Keep going.
Except for the
So they're all at this police precinct while this huge gang in LA at the time, I can't remember the name of the gang, but they're basically like, they're all like crazy ass anarchists who want to kill everybody. So they plan a full out assault on this precinct. And it's basically this lieutenant and these prisoners and these secretaries fighting this whole gang in defense of the precinct until backup shows up. And it's fucking awesome.
This gang has the most overpowered suppressors on the history of planet Earth.
Yeah.
Because their guns make 0 noise, apparently.
Yeah. Jagger, and this score, oh my god, I need to find this.
The score is pure synth music. It is very similar to The Guest. It fucking slaps. Oh my god, the score is so good.
Trey, are you able to watch one movie tonight for me, please?
What is it?
Will you please watch The Warriors?
Warrior.
Maybe.
Please.
Can you guys hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh my god. 1976. Dude, you're making me want to rewatch this all 13.
That's the main title, Jagger.
Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna love The Warriors so much. Please.
If I may, I have another movie very similar to this that you will also love. 2021, Cop Shop, starring Gerard Butler and shit, what's his name? The dude from The Purge Anarchy.
Ethan Hawke?
Frank Grillo.
Oh, I love Frank Grillo.
Yeah, Cop Shop is very similar to this, Trey. Gerard Butler. He's on the run, hides up in this police station. There's an assassin there trying to kill the prisoners. It's very similar to this. Cop Shop fucking rules. You have to watch it. All one word. 2021. I've seen it twice. Cop Shop fucking rips. Yeah, really, really good. Very similar.
Jagger, did I sell you on it?
Yeah, you have sold me on it. But I need
Hell
you
yeah,
to
dude. How good is that score, though? Dude,
the score is so good. I texted Trey when I was watching because I watched it before and I was like, bro, the score is insane. If I may, Trey, to sell you on Cop Shop even more. Directed by the guy who directed The Grey, starring our GOAT, Liam Neeson.
Oh, Liam, we haven't done a Liam Neeson watch in a while.
Yeah, I know. Directed by the guy who made the A-Team remake, starring Bradley Cooper and Liam Neeson. Absolute peak. Directed by the guy who made one of my favorites, Smokin' Aces. Fucking gas. Yeah. Cop Shop is sick. Watch that shit.
Hell yeah.
Well, let me, if I may, sell you on The Warriors with that score. Just listen to this for a second.
Dude, I'm worried we're gonna get monetized for playing all this music. I don't think we're big enough.
No.
The Warriors is sick.
Oh man, so good. So good.
Yeah, Warriors is really sick. Yeah, Jagger, watch Darkstar, watch Assault on Precinct 13. They're both sick. Shall we talk about Halloween?
Yeah, I guess.
Actually, you know what? Let's do Someone's Watching Me first in case the Halloween conversation goes long. And I need to dip out. Because I don't have a lot to say about Someone's Watching Me. I don't want to spoil anything because I think you'll actually like it a lot. I literally never heard of this movie before.
Yes.
And the poster kind of hard.
Yeah.
It's just a pair of eyeballs. This is 1978.
Evan,
young
I'm going to
woman-
be completely honest with you. I heard you say poster, kind of gas. It's just a pair of my balls. And I was like,
Oh.
what?
Okay.
That's untrue.
Yeah.
I would recognize the poster if it was a pair of your balls. Just kidding. Me and Evan have never even met in real life.
Hopefully soon.
Possibly April, though.
Yeah, we might go.
Ooh.
We might
They-
get into shenanigans.
We might.
We'll
Going-
talk about that. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Um,
We should invite Jagger.
yeah, we need to indoctrinate him into the cult first.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we'll tell you about it later.
Jagger's like, what are you
not a
guys
real cult.
talking about?
We might go to a concert. We might go to a concert together.
Not just any concert, a 3-day My Morning Jacket festival.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get too hyped up and start glazing My Morning Jacket if we keep going on that, and
That's true.
it's getting late. 1978. Someone's watching me. John Carpenter. This movie has 11,000 watches. That's crazy. Tagline: all those windows, and he's behind one of them. A young woman moves to a high-rise apartment building and soon begins to be tormented by an unknown stalker who seems to know her every move. First off, Trey, I don't know about tormented because he's sending her presents and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she needs to take a chill pill.
Yeah.
No, he 100% torments her.
Oh yeah, no. This is cool. It's really entertaining and it kicks off really fast paced. It's she works in news. She's like a producer.
I think she's a director, but who cares?
Yeah, whatever, same shit. And Lauren Hutton is her name, and she's working on the news. She gets this new apartment, really excited about it. Beautiful view of the city. She's very excited about the view, and she starts getting phone calls, really weird phone calls. And then she starts getting things sent from this person. And
dude, she gets
some hijinks occur. And then she
It's true.
invites her friends over to discuss said hijinks, and even more hijinks occur. And some debauchery. I'm trying not to spoil it because I genuinely think this movie is really entertaining and really fun because it's like this Rear Window style, who's out my window, spying on the neighbors. And then it turns into this like slasher film in the third act. It's really fun. The score is great again. Like John Carpenter just knows how to make cool music, and performances are pretty solid. Like I'm pretty sure it's just a bunch of no names in it.
Yeah, I had never heard of anyone in this movie.
Yeah, no, me either. I'm looking through it now, and I don't know any of them. But it's well directed. It's really well paced. It's 97 minutes, so it's another short one. Yeah, it's really cool. Like it's a noir, not noir, but it's like a mystery thriller. Who's stalking me? I think the ending's really great. The payoff's good. I'm really glad that I watched this because it satisfied this like weird Rear Window style mystery or like just like desire that I've had since watching Rear Window last year. It's different, but shares some aspects. Keeps you guessing. I really like this. Me and Trey both have this at a 3.5. Yeah,
I thought I gave it a 4. Maybe?
No,
I don't
3.5.
know.
Yeah,
Okay.
we both have this at a 3.5. It has a 3.3 average on Letterboxd, so pretty close to what most people think. 3.3 and 11,000 logs, like that it's crazy. This is definitely worth a watch. Really entertaining, really fun.
Yeah.
Do you have anything? Yeah.
Yeah. And this is also Carpenter's follow-up to Halloween. And you can definitely see a certain more like an
Styles.
a how do you like a higher production value, I guess,
Gotcha.
in this movie. Like he was trusted with more money, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's this big high rise, and he really builds the tension with the scale of the neighboring building. You know,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the stuff with the phone calls. Yeah, this was really great. I would easily watch this again. Like these first few Carpenter movies are all really quick 90-minute movies or less.
Yeah, and that's the best thing about John Carpenter is the majority of his movies are super rewatchable.
Yeah, he's not fucking around.
Dude, he doesn't fuck around.
I'm really excited to watch The Ward. That 2010.
Oh, I liked that one.
Yeah, but my most anticipated of Carpenter's that I've never seen is Prince of Darkness, because I love when Carpenter gets weird, and In the Mouth of Madness is a perfect film in my opinion. I know Jagger doesn't agree. Maybe on rewatch we'll see, but yeah. I'm excited for that. I'm very
Mine
excited
is either In the Mouth of Madness or Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
It was Assault on Precinct 13, but
yeah. I'm excited
that was already
Christine.
gas.
I don't know if you've read that
Christine,
one,
too. I've read the book, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine is...
Jagger, that one's about a killer car.
Oh, I've seen it. I'm
okay.
Okay.
Is it any good? Is it good, Jagger?
In my opinion, it's the worst of his that I've seen. I'm excited for Big Trouble in Little China. I'm also excited for The Fog. Christine is so bad that it's near unwatchable, but we'll see.
I have no mutuals that have the Christine lower than a 3.5, and Alex has it at a 5. So, and Mike Flanagan likes it. Mike Flanagan has a hard.
Mike Flanagan.
Yeah.
Well, I also haven't seen it since I was like 9, so we'll see. I mean, I don't know.
Then you better rewatch it.
Yeah, I know. I just remember being like, dude, that sucked. So I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone's watching me really underrated because no one's fucking seen it. Go watch it. It's definitely worth a watch. Fun little thriller horror.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about Halloween.
So, who wants to kick it off?
Let me kick it off, because this is the most overrated horror classic of all time. It's, you've got Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Hellraiser. I'm trying to think if I'm missing any. Scream. I guess Scream's a little bit after this, but this movie is so insanely slow. It's got 2 really great scenes. I think the ending is insanely anticlimactic. The closet scene is so mid. Laurie Strode, boring protagonist, shit final girl.
That's so crazy.
She sucks in the other movies. Halloween 2, she's in a hospital bed the entire movie. Like, what are we talking about here? People are putting Laurie Strode on their best final girl lists. What are we doing? She's so useless. Halloween Kills, she's in a hospital bed yet again. Halloween Resurrection, she kisses kisses Michael and then kills herself. What are we doing here? Laurie Strode sucks. Worst final girl of the queen circle of final girls. I like Halloween. I have it at a 3.5. I love the garage scene. I think the garage scene is really effective. Super creepy. Super scary. But yeah. I think that there's other Halloween movies in the mainline Halloween franchise that are way better than this. I think 4 or 5, I can't remember which one.
What's the one with Busta Rhymes?
That's Resurrections. That movie... No, that's Resurrections.
Is that Resurrections?
Yeah, that movie is better than this.
Dude, Halloween Resurrections fucking rips. He karate kicks Michael Myers out of a window into a row of barbed wire, which lynches and hangs Michael Myers. It is
It's
so
awesome.
sick. Yeah, that movie rips.
Dude, Busta Rhymes was having way too good of a
Oh, yeah.
time.
Dude, that movie is so funny. The opening scene is horrific. It's so bad, but the rest of the movie is really good. Yeah, I just think that this is a very fine horror film. I think that it's pretty in line with the early Friday the 13th movies, which is not a compliment. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it. Jamie Lee Curtis is fine. It also is set on Halloween, and it does not feel like it's Halloween. Here's my thing. This is the last thing I'll say about Halloween before I kick it over to you guys. Trick or Treat. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie.
Yes, we have.
Trick or Treat
We did
is the
that for
only horror.
Hooptober last year.
Trick or Treat is the only horror film to accurately portray Halloween night, and
Scary stories to tell in the dark.
That's fair. Yeah,
Halloween
that too.
3?
No,
Halloween
fuck that.
3?
That movie sucks. That
Yeah.
movie sucks shit.
Halloween 3.
Yes,
fucking
I
hate
agree
that.
with that.
Yeah, I just think this movie doesn't. It feels kind of lifeless at times. I mean, the score is iconic though. The score is great. Yeah, it's fine. 3.5. Overrated.
All right, Jagger, why don't you take it now? And because I feel like I'm going to be kind of equalizing out both of the takes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have this movie at a perfect 100 out of 100. And I don't
Ah,
want this to become that one clip in the Escape Pod podcast where it's like, you've been talking this entire time about how choreography matters. I don't want this to end up like that. I want this to be a fair and easy conversation. So, yeah, I think that this is the perfect slasher. I think the vibes are great. I think the score is great. Cinematography is great. Villain's great. Final girl's great. I think all of what happens here is fantastic. I think that the next movie in the series, Halloween 2, I like, but it's not good, and I think it's incredibly disgraceful to this film. Laurie Strode being in a hospital the entire time, stupid. The movie's bad. I think that the next best Halloween movie is Halloween 3, and then the rest of them have a huge decline in quality, but they're still fun.
4 is good. 4 is good.
But I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. I mean, 4 is good, but a lot of the other Halloween movies are bad. But this movie is a classic for a reason. It got so many sequels for a reason.
What's the one with Josh Hartnett again? Is that 4 or 5?
Let me look.
Because the one with Josh Hartnett I actually liked.
I think that's probably 4.
I'll have a look.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jagger, keep going.
I mean, the kills are pretty good. It's like, this is what I look for in a 70s horror movie. This has the visual style. I think the music in this film is some of the best scoring there's ever been in any film ever. The music is so perfectly fit with the tone. The framing is spectacular. The way that they build everything up, with her being like this sort of like, oh, I don't know, guys, kind of girl, to all having to defend the children at the end. It all just works. I mean, I understand with every other movie we've talked about today how you could hate it. But it's just that this movie all works so unbelievably well. Everything weaves together so perfectly that by the end, in that final moment in the closet, him being shot off and then him disappearing, with Donald Pleasence's performance.
Dude, I forgot to mention Donald Pleasance.
Everything in this
Mr.
movie-
Loomis is the fucking goat, dude. What a god tier character.
Just like, you fucking idiots! He's coming!
Yeah, goat shit.
Everything in this movie weaves together for this final project, for this final product. It's just this beautiful bow of a film. It's a movie that I watch every year on Halloween. It was one of the first horror films I ever watched. It works great as like a standard sleepover horror movie because it's not too long. It's just well paced enough to be effective and just a fun watch.
It's kind of creepy if you're watching it like Halloween night, late at night with the lights off. It could be that way. I mean, this is just a movie made by a guy that seems to like horror movies for people that like horror movies. It has a great killer. The mask, the use of the Star Trek mask, I love that. I think that works great.
Dude, shout out to the Halloween movies for the mask getting worse every single movie. Because Halloween 6 has one of the worst masks I've ever seen in my entire life. It is so funny.
But yeah, like this is just a fantastic horror film. And I'm like, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, like, this movie is just a good time. This movie is just a good time. I rewatch it a lot. I don't even log it every time on Letterboxd. It's just a movie I have on in the background a lot when I'm reading or if I'm doing anything. This movie has simply become one of my comfort films because it's just such an easy watch. None of the kills are too brutal. None of the dialogue is too fantastic. Like, it is just a great movie all around. It's not doing too much or doing too little. It's minimalistic enough without being bare bones. It does everything so right.
Do you have this over the thing, Jagger?
Yes, I do. Just barely, though. They're both 5s for me.
Trey, do you have Halloween 2 Rob Zombie's version over Halloween John Carpenter?
Oh, 1,000%.
Fuck yeah.
And I'll kick off my thoughts.
Okay.
I'll probably say I'm going to dip here because I'm going to bed in 10 minutes. But...
Well, just hold on a second.
Okay.
Let me get my thoughts. You can go to bed a little bit late, Grandma.
Okay.
All right?
I'll cut the down tonight.
So, I think there is stuff about both of your arguments that totally makes sense. I agree with Evan. This movie is way overrated.
Yeah.
It's still good. I have this at a 4-star. It's great. But there are Halloween movies that are better, in my opinion.
Fair enough.
2018 is better than that.
But that's true. 2018 Halloween fucking rips.
Hell yeah, dude.
That is the movie that makes Laurie Strode the best final girl. Actually, no. What's her face? Neve Campbell's character from the Scream movies. She's the best. Sidney Prescott. Let's be honest. Little nice. Pitch Perfect.
I'm curious to see what Jagger's opinion on the Scream franchise is, because I don't think I know about it.
I have Scream, I think, at a 4.5. If I have it at a 5, I'd like to move it down to a 4.5.
We'll talk about it at some time.
Yeah, and then the rest of them are just sort of...
That's fucking insane. We'll talk about it.
Oh my god. What about Scream 4? Scream 4 is fucking peak.
Scream 2 is the best horror sequel of all time.
What?
That's ridiculous.
Okay, Evan, I defend you a lot, but...
Give me one horror sequel better than it, right now.
It Chapter 2.
Halloween.
What?
No. It Chapter 2, I don't hate that.
It Chapter 2 is leagues ahead.
Chapter 2 is almost 3 hours long, and it ends with them making fun of Pennywise to kill him. They're like, oh, you're fat, and he dies.
Yeah.
It's peak. Bill Hader carries that movie on his back.
Trey, I love
it. Man, It Chapter 2 is a 2.5.
Is a low 3-star.
Halloween 2. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Better than Scream 2. 100%. I don't know. Scream 2 is a 3-star max.
4.5, maybe 5. It's the second best Scream movie. I'm losing. Oh my god. We're gonna do a Scream watch along in October.
Dude, Evan, your hair.
Yeah, I know, dude. I'm losing my shit. I love Scream 2. It is so fucking.
That's crazy.
Put a 2-star review just saying that.
I wish I didn't bring it up.
Whatever.
Okay. I'm assuming Psycho 2 is better than Scream 2.
Go fuck yourself.
Children of the... Evan, you know, Children of the Corn is awful. Children of the Corn 2 is better than Scream 2. Friday the 13th 2 is better than Scream 2.
Friday the
Friday the
13th 2 is a
13th
5-star.
sucks.
I won't fight you on that.
Friday the
Friday
13th 2 is gas.
The third
It is.
one is the good one.
No, Friday the 13th 2 is the best in the series.
2 doesn't even have the Jason mask. Okay, Trey. My heart can't take it, bro. I'm going to bed soon. I'm not gonna be able to sleep.
Hey,
until just
hey,
for-
you know I love you, but I
Yeah, I
gotta
love
call
you.
you out when you're wrong.
This is absurd, bro. This is fucking insane.
But Halloween, I also do think that there's a lot of great things about this. Score-wise, it's amazing. Michael Myers, out of the big four, horror movie villains, Jason Voorhees, Freddy Krueger, Ghostface, Michael Myers. I think Michael Myers is hands down the best one.
That's fucking insane.
I think he is the most terrifying. Example, in the later movies, Michael Myers puts a knife through a door and just wiggles it around like it weighs nothing. That is insane. Go watch the Rob Zombie Halloween movies. Michael Myers is fucking terrifying.
I'm gonna
Okay.
have to back off on
Krueger
that one.
is the best, and it's not close.
Rob
He
Zombie's never
ripped-
made a good movie.
Freddy Krueger,
Ooh! Dude,
dude.
the two best Halloween movies are the Rob Zombie Halloween movies.
Nah, man. And House of a
Okay.
Thousand Corpses wasn't good either. I
House
don't
of the
know.
Thousand Corpses is fucking awesome. You're crazy. Let me tell you about something called Nightmare on Elm Street 3: The Dream Warriors, where
Dream
Freddy
Warriors is
Krueger-
very good, but
Freddy
Halloween.
Krueger rips out a man's veins and uses them to play as a finger puppet while he's in the sky as a giant. And you're telling me Michael Myers is a better serial horror
Yeah.
killer than that?
Yeah.
Michael Myers doesn't have shit on Freddy Krueger. There's a line in Freddy vs. Jason where a black girl starts shit talking Freddy Krueger and he says, dark meat, and then he kills her. Freddy Krueger has aura, dude. He is so funny. He's so charismatic. Out of pocket, insane.
And you had a problem with my Gone with the Wind take.
Yeah, you're right. My bad, sorry. I was accidentally racist. Also, that's fucking insane. Michael Myers is so... Ugh.
All right. We're going to end it there with
Yeah.
Halloween
Look
is
forward
pretty
to-
good.
A month from now, when it's just absolute rants and debates every single week. Maybe every single
Oh,
day during
That's
horror.
why I'm so excited.
I can't wait. I'm so
Yeah.
excited.
Well, thank you for joining us today on the Average Film Enjoyer for an absolute gas episode.
Long episode, almost 3 hours.
Yeah. We hope to see you next week for Elvis and the Fog and Chinatown and the Elephant Man.
I'm not excited to watch Elephant Man again. I'm really not.
I've never seen it, so
Oh, dude, it's
Probably
heartbreaking.
a feels bad movie.
It's like the whale level of sad.
Yeah. All right.
yeah, we'll see you guys next time.